Okay, can somebody do an audio check on the stream?
Hey, and CouchBot is now properly letting everyone know that we have gone live.
It's I can hear it. It's
So do we need to have everybody talk? Because nobody's talking.
I can hear you. I can hear
Yeah.
Sam. I can hear Karu. There's a several second delay. Hear it. I'm loud.
Nina, you want to say something?
Hello, check, check.
I can hear you. I can hear Sam. I can hear Karu. There's a several second delay.
It's an echo.
I'm loud.
Hello.
Why do we have echo?
I think because Matt has his speaker on, maybe?
Echo.
Matt, is that an echo because you're playing the audio, or I wonder if it's...
Yeah, from probably from the. Although I got my headphones on, but yeah, I got the audio on Twitch was up too. But I'll
The
turn
only
that
one I
off.
haven't heard is David.
Test, hello? Hello, hello. How am I coming across?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. All right, we're good. Okay, well, welcome to DnDeBrief. I am DM Samuel, and I am your DM for this evening's festivities. And I am here with my totally awesome players who I have nothing but praise for. And so let's start with David first. You want to introduce yourself with your character name, class, species, and thoughts?
Yes, so I play Axley Tillingquest, who is Halfling Bard.
And Matt.
I'm Matt. I'm playing Konos Lendeth, the CL Warlock.
And Karu.
Hello, I am Karu. I am playing Marcel Petitiab Duran, the gender fluid Lutrinian Storm Sorcerer.
And last but not least, Nina.
Hello, I'm Nina, and I'm playing Emran Ornestra, who is a human Tempest Cleric.
Excellent. So, it's been a while. Does anyone remember what happened, or do you need me to remind you?
According to my notes, the only thing we did was the truth thing, circle of whatever. And we finally got Mr. Grumpy Pants to be on our side. And unfortunately for us, that meant he decided to step down from his position as all holy person of the kingdom and put us in a bind because he put us on the hook for replacing him. And we were like, wait, that was not part of the plan.
So then we put Emran's mom on the hook for getting us off the hook, basically. She was kind of willing to do it seemed like.
Well, 'cause why? What was the last thing that she had?
Well, she just got her powers back.
But what was she doing there at the end?
Oh, she was
She had been... Good.
talking to everyone, talking to the people.
Right, a huge crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she told Imran that she could hear Goros again, right? That was in the previous sessions. She told Imran that she could hear Goros, and so then when there was that huge crowd outside, and they were, they wanted to hear from the person who had healed them, who they thought was Rayla. Right? What happened before that, though? What was going on with the party and everyone before that?
We had talked about wanting to go try to find the lair of this dragon that, had attacked the city. The idea being, dragons like to hoard treasure, and now there's a dragon hoard that doesn't have a dragon protecting it.
Okay, but you had an audience with the queens, right?
We had to go
Yes.
see the queens now? I can't remember.
Yeah, so you had an audience with the queens, and at first they were offended because you were calling their
right.
Their abbot, their oldest serving abbot, his powers into question. And so, and also, poor Axley thought the queens were sisters.
Yep.
And they were not. And so, so they got a little bit offended at the beginning, and then they basically used Imran's name gaffe as a reason to say, well, your leader can't tell the truth, so why should we believe anything you say? But Axley was able to persuade them that perhaps you all had something to say that was important, and that you could use some way to test the honesty of the participants. And so the queens had Hubertus, their chief vizier, set up a test of veracity, and then you all were within the truth circle with Tullus, and you got to trade information and ask him certain things, and he got to ask you certain things, and because he knew what the situation was, he ultimately came around and said, you must be right, like the things you're saying are true, so there's something to this. His spirit was broken, but perhaps he's now an ally. Maybe. You don't really know. But what he said was, well, I can't lead the church because my faith has now been proven to be not enough, and it's broken, it's shaken, and I need someone to lead the church. Perhaps Imran should do so because she was able to go among the people and heal them all with some supernatural power. Obviously, Goros has chosen her to be a conduit for her powers. And you all convinced him that perhaps Rayla would be the person to do that. After all, she was out standing on the edge of the crenellated wall and waving to the people and speaking to them, and they filled the streets to praise her and ask for her blessing. So then you were told that Hubertus would take a couple hours to submit his report to the queens. And also there was one other thing. Oh, yes. One thing you learned in the test of veracity was Tullus is not the person who sent the invisible spy to follow you. And that pretty much brings us up to where we started having a little bit of technical difficulties. We kept freezing and dropping, so we moved into a debrief and didn't really do anything more that session. So that's where we sit now.
I think we also found out that Revivify is the spell that will, permanently restore Lucanius and anyone else who's basically been afflicted with the curse/disease that he's got.
That is true, yes. Did you find that out last session or the end of the session before?
Oh, that might have been 2 sessions ago. Yeah, I think that was done.
Yeah.
That was 2 sessions ago.
Because you learned that from the Book of Proofs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We also talked to wow, I'm blanking on his name already.
Justinius?
The guy we were just
Hubertus?
the guy we were just talking about.
Tullus?
No. Yes, thank you. My brain is not going to function tonight.
I'm just realizing after saying them all 3 in a row, they all end in US. Tullus, Justinius, Hubertus. Apparently I have a thing.
I do that too. No, we talked to him about getting resources for that, is what I think Matt is probably remembering. We talked to him about getting diamonds and stuff, and he said that
yes.
we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
And what did he say?
It would clear out pretty much the entire inventory of the church, but it was at our disposal.
And that would be to heal anybody in town afflicted, right? Not just...
Yeah.
Yeah, because the church's coffers are quite large, quite extensive. And if Rayla basically becomes the abbotess, then she has... Because the abbey's treasury is separate from the queen's treasury, from the royal treasury. So if she becomes the abbotess, then she can do what she wants with the treasury.
Yeah, and we were like, we could do that, but also leaving the church with no money is probably a bad idea, and that's where we got the idea of looking for the treasure that the dragon left behind to not clear out the coffers. Because clearly if the dragon's dead, then someone has to go get that loot.
Right. That's correct, yes. You did discuss going to the dragon's hoard.
We also... I don't know if we found this out last session or the session before, but there might be 2 dragons. There might be another one.
Yeah.
Or the one that was just changing colors, but there were sightings of 2 dual colored dragons. Maybe?
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. We'll be fine. It's fine.
So then that brings us to, what would you like to do?
What is the actual plan?
Yeah.
Well, I know I was wanting to go basically run an errand for Kona, so basically visit the company, the Eastern Sun, and drop off this mail we've been hauling around forever.
Right,
Well-
and at that
the
point
mail,
in
that's
time, you wanted to do that, but the streets were so clogged with people that you ended up not leaving at that point.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't get anywhere in the city.
Didn't we have to? We were supposed to go see the queens, but that was going to take a bit because he was going to give a report.
Yeah, his report was going to take, they estimated 2 hours.
Right.
So, I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to wait. But at that time, the streets seemed, way too clogged for you to be able to utilize them efficiently.
Yeah, then I'd be fine waiting until things calm down a bit.
Yeah, I feel
Maybe
like
the
we should
queens have
just.
a way to get through.
Say that again.
Maybe the queens have a way to get the mail through. They could deliver it.
I think it's going to come down to waiting until things are. We shouldn't be asking the queens for that kind of thing. I don't think.
Yeah, and it's back at the ship anyway, so I think that's. I mean, it's not super urgent. But it's just kind of like I'm hoping it's just a quick drop, and then can be done.
Yeah, I feel like we should just kind of wait it out here for the time being, and then I feel like we should formulate a plan as to what we're going to do after this. Because we all have errands to run, I know. I want to get some more materials. So a shopping trip is in order at some point. I need to go heal Lucanius at some point in time. Because he is dying. So that is my ASAP priority at the moment.
Now, how do you feel about healing Lucanius but leaving everyone else to possibly just die because you don't have the materials to save everyone else?
When you put it that way.
I'm just saying, showing up and saving one guy and then being like, bye!
Well, no,
The rest of you can stay here. Hi, Mom, Dad. Sorry, I can't let you free yet.
You know what? No, because here's the thing, is that crap that happened before might happen again. So I don't want to clear out the coffers yet, because if it takes 1 to heal 20, then I know I don't need as much, right?
That's true. But that was a heal, not a revivify.
No.
I
mean, it's worth a shot.
But you won't know
Okay,
till you
well-
try.
Yeah, what we could say is basically this is a test run to see if it works, and if it does, then we have a better idea of what we need and get a count of exactly how many people need it. And also maybe convince, since now your mom is head honcho or will be, convince the people that are not infected with this thing that they are not that they don't have to be in quarantine. Because right now they have everyone in quarantine when really it's not something, as far as we've been able to tell, this was through some kind of shady ritual or accepting of a power. So it's not contagious.
Yeah.
So letting the people who don't have anything to do with this or not infected or whatever to leave that area might be something we could possibly convince the queens to do now. And be like, sure, leave the people who are affected because, they need to be treated or whatever. But the rest of the people can leave.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. I think sticking with like, hey, we don't really like, we think this is gonna work, but we don't know how much we're gonna need. We're doing a test run. I can also like send a message back to someone at the castle and be like, hey, this worked. I need XYZ. And then they can come and deliver it while I try and convince them to let out the people who haven't been affected, and we can just kind of roll with it that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit more effective. We can just have like guards or whoever can transport that to the quarantine facility, transport the rest of the materials once I get a better idea of what I need. And I don't know, the other thing is I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do in a day. I only have so many spell slots, so if it is like one per person, it's going to take me like a good
Well, I
couple
mean,
of weeks.
Revivify is what, a level 3 spell?
Yeah, I think. I guess I should check or say yes. Yeah, it is 3rd level. And I have 3, 6, 8. I have 9 total spell slots if I'm burning all of them.
Yeah, but I'm saying your mom can probably help, and there may be other clerics within the actual church temple that have the ability to cast Revivify. Though
Well,
getting
then
your
maybe-
mom to
maybe
accept doing
that.
that is going to be another problem because it's a necromancy
Yeah.
spell.
I was gonna say it depends on everybody's feelings about that too. What were you saying, Konos?
I would say that's something Tullus could maybe lend a hand with. Although, doesn't Revivify don't they have to be dead for that to work? Recently dead?
I mean, per the spell, yeah, but apparently
Yeah.
that's
Apparently,
not.
it's supposed to work.
It just said you had to
We're gonna try it.
revivify, not kill them and then revivify them.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, that would be terrible. Hey, I gotta kill you first. Don't bring you back. Just give it 2 seconds.
Yeah. This might hurt. This will hurt for a moment, but then it'll be all better.
Terrible.
Well, you know
Oh
what
my
they
God.
say about necromancers and healers.
What do they say about necromancers and
What
healers?
did they say?
That necromancers are healers that are just a bit too late.
Oh, that's so terrible. Oh no. Oh my God. Oh, on that note. Oh my God. Well, okay. So the scouting mission there is fine with me trying to figure out how much we need, what this is actually going to look like. Also, how many people are infected? I have no idea how many people are going to need this versus
You
just
might
like,
be able to ask Justinius about that, actually.
that might be a good plan.
Because he is the mayordomo. He might know that
Okay,
because
I'm gonna
he's
put
probably
that.
in charge of the people who are in quarantine.
Okay, so that's on my to-do list, is to ask Justinius how many infected. I'll do that in this like 2-hour slot that we got before we need to meet with the queens again.
The other thing we might want to ask is if there's any clues as to where the dragon's lair is. Like if people know
Yeah.
where it came from and how far away, etc. Because right now it's like, yeah, let's
feel like-
just randomly walk across the island and see if we stumble across the lair. Seems like a bad idea for.
Like a. We talked about that before.
I think we have a general direction of where it flew from, but I don't know if
think
they've
so,
tried
too.
tracking down the actual lair.
Where south of the city in the mountains was an old dwarven hold called Otuk.
Okay, so we do know where it possibly is.
Yeah, it's a pre-sinking old dwarven hold.
Okay.
Dragon with red and green scales. probably now gonna try and come back and eat us when Lerlac finds it.
So what's your plan?
Track down Justinius first.
Yeah, let's go find him.
We'll grab the first page and tell him to go get the Major Domo for us.
Okay, they run off.
We also need to figure out who is spying on you two.
Yeah.
Because that's really concerning.
I might have a way to look into that.
Can we like do everything that tracks down?
I could-
Name
I-
for that.
They're long gone.
We need
I
a
mean,
name for that.
Konos just tugs on his robe with all the eyes that he's wearing. They all just kind of start blinking back and forth, kind of like I could try to track him down.
Do we want to do that now while
That's
we're
lovely.
waiting on?
We got time.
Also,
Again,
I was
he
going to say,
knows- he'll know-
actually, you might want to keep the eye thing up just in case it's happening again.
Yeah, well, I'm wearing it all the time now. And
That's
someone's
really smart.
been around us that we didn't know about.
Okay.
Just a little safety precaution. Can someone blindfold me really quick while I do this? Because the reason being, because when I do that, like if I change the view to a person, they basically know I'm spying on them and they can see what I'm seeing. So if I can't see anything, they can't see anything.
Well, cool.
Oh my god, we forgot about. Oh no, Gaston.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing we have to do. But we can't leave the. Okay, hold up. We have to be able to leave the castle without like going through the throng. There has to be a sally port somewhere where there's not people crowding in front of the place. It would be a bad castle if it didn't have.
You've been talking for like a half hour. The people were already dispersing as soon as Rayla stepped away from the battlements. So probably within another 20-30 minutes, they'll be dispersed enough for you to surreptitiously go out. A big enough crowd to keep you hidden, but not so much to block you. I mean, literally before it was like a concert crowd, like people trying to crowd the stage, and you could not have gotten through, without some hassle.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's another thing on our to-do list. I'm not going to worry about it right now, but I just thought of that because I don't have my cloak. Yeah, he still has my cloak.
Okay. Well, Konos, if you kneel down, I can use my bandana to blindfold you. You're a bit tall for me.
They'll have a seat.
All right.
And
I'll use my bandana to blindfold him.
okay. So yeah, I'm going to change the view, and I'm going to focus on the person who was spying on me, and actually at the party the other night. Kind of see what he sees and where he is at the moment.
You so your vision is a little bit obscured in your left eye. It's almost like some fluid is there. But from your right eye, you kind of look like if you've ever been laying on the ground asleep and you kind of wake up and you look forward and there's like a table leg and there's some chairs off in your peripheral vision, some chair legs in your peripheral vision, and things are starting to get a little fuzzy, and then you see a footstep come in front of you, and your vision kind of shakes for a second, and then the face of someone bending down to look at you says, "That's what I thought. Next time you won't be so foolish. And then your vision goes out.
Okay. In the time I saw that, did that look like anywhere in the palace we've been to?
No. But you did recognize the face that bent down.
Ooh. Who was it?
Laralac.
Oh crap. Oh. Okay, pop out of it like, oh no, we got trouble.
No!
And I tell everybody what I saw.
Oh no!
That's what I was afraid
he's
of.
pretty close by.
Actually, do you still have that rod that finds things and people?
Yeah.
Do you think we can use that and go find this kid? Because he's probably not doing so hot.
Konos, you're pretty sure he's dead because your vision.
Yeah.
You did not pull back from the vision. Basically,
Oh, okay.
The vision stopped because there's no more vision coming out of those eyes.
I think we're too late.
Oh no!
What did the background look like?
Terrible.
It was
He was on.
stone. I'll just give you a little more detail. Stone floor, dusty, dirty, some wooden table legs and chair legs, stone and wood walls. And then,
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was somewhere.
Laralac's face.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was somewhere in the castle or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. That's not good. That's not good.
So there was no
Okay.
windows. So probably like either underground somewhere.
Or inside somewhere.
I was gonna say it might even be back at the place where we found my mom.
All the way back in Darkport.
Yeah. Yes. Thank
I
you.
mean, as long as you have a way to teleport, then yeah. And wasn't there supposed to be a portal here in the castle? There was one in the library and one here, I think.
There's a couple in the library. I don't think there was one in the castle.
Well, that's probably something else we need to tell the queens.
Yep.
Remember that
This makes me
enemy
feel
we
like
said
we're
might
on-
become your problem?
Yeah, he's back.
He's back. He just killed a kid.
A kid that had royal dress on.
He was a page.
Yeah.
So Justinius is going to have to figure out which page is missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And then
I
tell
mean,
his
we can
parents.
also. Oh.
Yeah, let's
we can
go find
also-
Justinius while we can.
Yeah, let's just. Has anybody come back to tell us where he is, or?
Yeah, I mean he can be there.
Okay.
Well, as soon as when the person came to get he would come to you. I was just letting you finish. Like.
Yeah, that's
what
fair. Oh, okay.
I give Marcel their blindfold back. Or their bandana back, I mean.
Okay. What's Axley doing this whole time?
I'm going over my thoughts of what's transpired, trying to put pieces together. I don't know what our next move should be.
I know. I feel like
Clearly, the enemy knows we're here and what we're up to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This makes me feel like we're on such a tight time limit, and it's making me nervous. All right.
I just broke my nail.
Eesh.
Well, yeah, I guess our first step is to talk to Justinius.
Good thing he just got here.
Yeah.
Isn't that convenient?
As Konos finishes telling you what he saw, there's a tap on the door. Tap, tap, tap.
Go open it. I'll let him in.
The page said that you needed to see me.
Yeah, we have some questions and concerns.
About?
A lot of different things coming in. I just kind of let him in.
All right. Very well. What seems to be the problem?
I guess we should start with Konos, what you just saw, because that's probably the most pressing.
Are any of your pages, have any of them been missing the last day or two since the banquet, or since the big party?
A couple of them haven't shown up to work, probably ill. We weren't.
There's one. There's well, we think there was one of them was trying to play a bit of a trick and spy on Axley at the banquet, and well, we fear some harm has come to him. We fear he may be dead, in fact, and that the enemy we've been warning you about is back and not happy. And here's basically what I saw to prove this. And I kind of relate to the vision I saw to him.
And if you can see this vision, how come you can't just go there? Where is the
I don't know. That's the problem. I couldn't tell where it was. It was some room. It may be somewhere in the castle. If you haven't done a search, I would encourage you to do that to get that going. But it didn't look like anywhere in the castle that we've seen. He was literally lying face down on the floor, so all I could see was the feet of tables and chairs.
I see.
We can describe the page, right? We got a good
Yeah.
look at him when we.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We ever get
that, and didn't you say that it was dusty as well?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dusty floor and
Which-
whatnot.
Would you mean either a place, if it's in the palace, it would have to be a place that isn't frequented, that isn't being cleaned? If
Yeah,
not, it's not in the palace.
Right. I'm just looking to see if we got his name. I don't think we did.
I think he refused to tell you.
He refused, and that's the reason why we couldn't use the rod to find him.
Okay.
We just have his description, which honestly, he was a pretty bland-looking page. I mean, that's probably why he was chosen to be the...
Yeah. Very, very unassuming. I mean,
Honestly,
might not
I'm
even
worried
admit
about
it.
what Laralac said. He may come back posing as still alive, but he'll be an undead creature now.
Yeah.
So your missing page may come back.
In a bad state.
What makes you say this? You think we won't realize if a page comes in with an illness?
No.
I hope you do. But
Yeah.
a freshly dead corpse turned into an undead may pass for the first day or two. Maybe he'll just look sickly. But which is why we're putting you on alert. Just be careful, because if he does come back looking like that, then...
Well, I will tell the housemaster to make sure that he keeps an eye out for the 2 missing pages that have not reported for work. It's not all that rare, you understand. They are,
Kids.
yes, quite young. And many of them are children of members of the court that are learning pagely duties as a sometimes punishment, sometimes just to learn the ways of the court. It's not exactly pleasant work. It's, for many of them, the only times in their lives when they have taken orders from a non-royal member. They work for the housemaster or the housemistress, and those people are commoners, and so often there's some strife amongst the pages.
I'm also concerned Laralac may have more than one page at his service.
And what makes you say this? I know that you know there is a threat, and you're... is there something that we could do to ensure that he has not gotten the will of another page?
I think for now, just make sure all your people are accounted for.
Very well.
Unless you could do this truth ritual that we underwent with Tullus, but I'm sure that would take quite a lot of time.
That would take a lot of time. My concern is he's already gotten one page to work for him and spy on us, which means he has ways of accessing the castle, even if it's through some servant or another. And we don't know what he needs for his plans. He seems interested in, at the very least, Emerin. He kidnapped your mother just to get to you. And now he knows we're in the castle.
How did he know to look here?
That's a good question. Wait. Is it possible he knew that I was a royal? Sharkface might have told him before he left. If he knew that I was of royal blood, then it's possible he knew that we may end up at the castle and had planted someone here to see if we actually showed up.
I was going to say, Calport's been of interest to him anyways, because this is where he kidnapped my mother, in the library.
It's a pretty decent assumption that we would make it to the library. Oh shit, that means he could have put someone in the library too.
Well, I was going to say, did we say it was a dusty room that this kid was in before he...
It could be in the library.
It might be in the spires is where I had that vision, and the rooms were dusty in the spires where I had that vision. So he might be up there.
That's true. You know, I just thought of it, but was it that thing that we stole the key from, whatever we got from there? Wasn't that an undead creature? The one we didn't kill?
Big bone swarm thing? Yeah.
Bone swarm?
Thing? Might have been.
You don't think that bone swarm can communicate, right?
I think that's pushing it.
Just rearranges all the bones to say something.
Spell things out.
I don't know. I mean, we can ask Gaston, and we can ask,
we can ask the library keeper.
Akodum and the library keeper. We can ask a couple. We can inquire in the library.
Can't you just look at the library book, the one that you sign in on?
No, the names disappear, I think.
Did they?
Either that or it was empty when we got there. Because when I signed in, there was no other names except for the one that I just signed. Think?
Wasn't your
Could be wrong.
mom's name flat? Okay.
I don't think it was there because I do remember thinking to ask, and then I think we said it was empty.
Okay.
I could be 100% wrong in a while, but
It has. So keep an eye on things in the palace. I don't know. The big thing is we're not really sure exactly what his next move is gonna be. It also concerns me even more now that Liralac may be nearby and there's a dead dragon in the harbor.
we could use the rod to find Liralac, at least give us a direction. Because if it's pointing in the direction of the library,
True.
Yeah. Confirms.
and if it's a different color, then we know he's not on this plane.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Worth a try.
Give it a shot, yeah.
You're going to use the rod.
Yep.
Who's going to use it?
Does it have to be
Actually, you're attuned to it, I think, right?
No, I don't think so. I think anyone can use it.
I thought it required attunement because I think we tried it when I was trying to find my mom and gave it to me, and it didn't work.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
it's
Axley
still
had it
It's
attuned.
yours.
Okay. All right.
The only one
Yeah,
that
go for it.
yeah, the only one that that it's ever worked for has been Axley.
Okay, I'll try it. Find Liralac.
The rod pulls so strongly it flies out of your hand and points directly at the ground under you.
Great. He's in the castle.
Literally right underneath us. Okay, great.
Oh.
Oh my god, under our
Are there-
noses. I hate it.
Justinius, are there like Justinius, are there like dungeons and whatnot here
What's
in your castle?
There are a couple of floors underneath the castle, yes. I'm not... What is this?
that rod is pointing to the enemy that wants to kill everyone on this plane.
Well, we can go directly under this room. Let's go. He sort of swings the door open.
We are not ready
Starts
to
walking.
confront this guy.
He's walking.
Are we ready? Oh my god, wait, Justinius! Hold on.
Did we get arrested?
What?
No, I don't think we've really done much.
Yeah, I
He's
don't
a little
have
get
any
arrest.
resource. No, I'm just going like, yeah, no, we haven't done anything since our last roast, I think.
You had
Yeah,
the test of veracity. That's pretty much it.
That was it.
So
Yeah.
you got up, you ate, you went to the audience with the queens, and then you had the test of veracity, and now it's basically afternoon, and you haven't done really
Yeah.
anything.
I mean, if we can't keep him in the castle, we need to at least chase him out. We need to see what he's doing here.
Yeah.
He's not just a danger to everyone, but right now, more importantly for Justinius, he's a danger to the queens.
Justinius is
But
walking.
we
Are
can't
we
just do
ready
it
for
on our
that?
own.
I mean, yeah.
Hold on. We need to at least bring some of the
Get some
Queen's
guards, yeah.
forces with us. We can't just be
Yeah.
the only ones to go.
Justinius, you,
We need them
you
to see the
realize
threat
this
also.
is a high level necromancer we're dealing with.
I am having a hard time believing that the enemy is in the castle. Let's just go see where it's pointing.
Alright, fine. Let's go. I don't know where I'm going, so you go first, but
I mean, yeah, Axley
Well,
has the rod, and if we go down the stairs and it's still pointing down, we'll know it's not on that floor and we keep going down.
Yeah. All right, Axley. Oh my god, we're not ready for this!
I'm casting Mage Armor on myself as we go.
This is so stupid.
Wait. What are you doing? Don't cast wait, you can't. Can you cast Mage Armor at will?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Cast away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I'll do one on Marcel as well.
You can't, because the wording of that spell says you can only cast it on yourself for the invocation. Yeah, it specifies self only.
I'm prepped for healing.
I mean,
I have one person.
we handled it pretty well last time. Just saying.
It's fine. Just don't.
Right.
I was gonna say don't use thunder on him. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm a storm sorcerer.
Yeah. And the
Don't use
Tempest
thunder.
Flare over here.
There goes all of my thunder spells.
There goes all of my spells.
90%.
While we're like walking, I'm gonna keep an eye out for my mom and see if we pass her on the way.
Wasn't she with us?
No, she was laying down.
Oh. Yeah, just let her keep laying down.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
She said she would be with you later.
She's not gonna be happy about this. She told me not to. She specifically told me not to do this.
Yes, she did.
It's fine. She doesn't know. Won't.
She doesn't know. It's fine.
Might hurt you, but okay. So we go down a level. Is the rod still pointing down?
Well, so sorry, I was just looking for something.
Fine, me too. Well, I have we don't have a diamond, but I have Revivify when he dies.
I don't have any healing, but if you go down, I can pick you up.
Maybe. I actually do have a lot of healing. I don't have a lot of.
But I can cast Revivify. Oh, that's great. Okay, so, he. Where did my? That's. Sorry, I'm still looking for something specifically. Because Justinius heard you say that it's dangerous, so he is
Gathering up guards.
Yeah, he's calling on the elite guard.
Good.
Good.
We will not dissuade him of this.
Yeah, round up anyone you can get.
Anybody that has a 300 gold piece diamond, I would not complain. Because then I could actually revive someone if they die.
He sends his personal page to go retrieve Sergeant Shona. This is the problem with not knowing what you were gonna do. Was now I just have these random notes all the frick over. And
That's fair. When we find out our arch nemesis is literally right under our noses, immediately go to confront him.
Priorities change.
Oh my god.
Okay. So he goes to he sends his page to get Sergeant Shona. And Sergeant Shona shows up. You only wait there for about 3 minutes. And Sergeant Shona shows up with 4 other heavily armed human women and with someone who you recognize, which is, once again, I put my things in the way.
To be fair, we weren't prepped to go fight Lirelak.
Oh my god, no. I thought that was at least like 3 or 4 days away.
Captain Lord Tobic. So, Sergeant Shona shows up with Captain Lord Tobic and 4 other heavily armed human women, and they are in full-on gear, and
They're gonna die.
Captain Tobic comes in and says, Justinius, I have heard that there is some trouble somewhere.
Maybe. Possibly. We at least need to scare this guy out.
Mm-hmm.
There may be intruders in the castle.
It is a rare moment when someone says intruders in the castle. This does not happen here.
Mm-hmm.
He is a very powerful spellcaster, necromancer, and we know for a fact that he can teleport places, and I don't think he cares about your rules.
Makes deals with demons. It's good. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, lead me there so that I can confront this individual.
Well, that rod's pointing directly to him. So actually, let's see where it leads us.
So it leads you to a door on the ground floor, and it's very strong until you get to the door, and Justinius says, "Impossible," and he knocks on the door.
Oh no.
Oh god.
And
Oh no.
at that moment, the rod stops pulling and isn't giving you any indication of location. And a second later, it starts filling with a blue mist.
Oh shit.
You know how when you needed to go to Darkport, it was filling with a gray and black smoky mist.
Yeah.
Now it's filling with a blue mist with a little bit of red intertwined somehow.
Oh shit, that's not good.
Oh no.
And Justinius says, "This is impossible. This is the office of Lord Cromov."
Who?
Lord Cromov.
Lord.
He's the Minister of Commerce. He's on the Queen's Council. It is impossible that he is the enemy that you are saying.
You shouldn't have knocked.
And
He's
a second later, the door opens, and in front of you stands a tall, imposing male human with robes with a sort of sash thing, which denotes his status. And he says, "Justinius, to what do I owe the pleasure?" And then he sort of looks, and he sees that behind Justinius are a bunch of elite guards.
We're in trouble. We're in trouble.
And you all.
Uh-huh.
And he says, "Is something happening that I should know about? Do I need to move to safety?"
Lord Cromov, you were in your office just now?
Of course I was. I work here late almost every day. Justinius knows this.
Has anybody else been in here with you in the last few minutes?
My children.
None of your children are pages, are they?
Of course they are, all of them.
Oh.
That is,
boy.
as befits a person of my family's standing.
And are they all accounted for?
They were just here.
All of them?
Yes.
Good.
Would you like to
Are they
meet them?
still here?
Perhaps you would all like to
Yes.
come in. I'm not sure my office is big enough for the lot of you.
I look to Konos. Konos, maybe you want to go inside and see if it seems familiar.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take a look and I'll just take a look around, see if I recognize.
And maybe, Axley, you want to, monocle it?
He
think we should
says,
search-
Colette, Nils, Peter, come here, please. And in through one of the rear doors comes 3 youngish children. They're probably 11, 12, 13 maybe.
Younger than the page that was following Axley.
Yeah, but not by much.
Not by much. Because the other guy was like, what, 16 or something? 15, 16.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not one of them, but yeah, monocle up the room, see if there's anything weird. Because this place, I'm guessing, does not look like it has dust and hasn't seen dust in ages.
This place is the most lavish room you have seen. Except, maybe with the exception of the Queen's reception when they have it, all decked out. But this room as a daily work office is super duper swanky. It has the highest quality everything. It has the best leather chair.
He's the Minister of Commerce.
The
Of course
best,
everything is lavish.
the best. There's like a sextant on the shelves. There's all kinds of books on the bookshelves. There's it's swanky. There, it's the sort of there are decanters of wine, right? And there's like almost like a wet bar kind of area. There's a swanky storage area. It's the this is where you go when you're meeting the president and CEO.
So I have one question. Is the dimensions of the room even similar to what Konos had seen through the eyes of the kid?
Konos did not see the entirety of the room. All he saw was sort of in front of him.
So nothing's ringing a bell for him right now?
Well, on the floor of this room is a big rug. And what Konos saw did not have a rug.
I'm just trying to figure out if it was like an alternate room that was attached by the door somehow.
Yeah.
To what do I owe this pleasure, then? You see my children? I'm not usually disturbed while I work. I'm beginning to think
We
that
apologize.
this is not a pleasure visit. You seem to be looking for something.
And look very disappointed to not find it.
Yeah.
This feels like a great intrusion. Lord Tobic, what is the meaning of this?
I'm gonna stay outside since you mentioned there was too many of us. I'm gonna stay outside. I'm gonna grab Justidius and be like, next time, no knocking. And then I'm gonna point at the rod that Axley was looking at. You see how it's gone blue now? That means he teleported away. Remember when I said he could teleport? You knocking gave it away. And
Teleportation is not allowed within the castle
Oh
complex.
my goodness.
Allowed?
There are
or
wards against it.
Oh shit.
So, Minister Cromov, please bear with us. We are simply giving them a no-holds-barred tour of the royal manor. You see, it is Imran's mother, Rayla, who will succeed Abbot Tullus as the next in line at the church and therefore on the council. And being new here, we decided it was perhaps better to introduce them to everyone. You can tell Cromov is like not.
The I'm like
happy
quickly
with this.
stuffing my mace back into its holster, and like after I hear my name, I like turn and like give like a very like nice like bow. Yeah, our deepest apologies. We were feeling a bit unsafe with all the crowds outside. My mother is very popular now, and being her daughter, we just felt it would be better if we had an entourage. And it's been wonderful getting to know the people in the castle, and it is a pleasure to meet you and your children. And I give another like.
You want to roll me a persuasion check?
Sure.
Please roll high.
That's not bad. That's bad. 13.
He sort of, as you keep talking, his eyes sort of, his brow gets a deeper and deeper furrow in it.
I'm gonna stop talking. I just kind of back behind Tobik. We're doing a better job. Keep talking.
Does the rug look like it's been moved recently?
No, I mean,
Where?
well, so I guess roll me a perception check, I suppose. I mean, it's hard to tell. You're standing in the room. You can't really lean down and
Yeah. Yeah, I you were talking like one big rug, not like wall-to-wall carpeting or anything like that.
Correct, right.
19.
It doesn't look like it, but it definitely looks like there's been people walking on it recently, like it's been, fluffed up and then, but that could mean nothing, really.
Okay, so no indication that maybe somebody may have, recently pulled it back and gone through a trapdoor underneath or anything like that.
Right, not that you can see, no. It doesn't appear that way. So Cromov says, he kind of crosses his arms, and he says, "And what is the actual purpose of this little expedition? What is that there you have in your hand?" And he looks at Axley.
Oh, this little trinket? Just a good luck charm.
And you carry it around in your hand like a weapon.
Well, how else am I going to carry it? It's rather bulky and awkward. I guess I could put it in a big pocket, but...
Has an interesting shimmer. Do you mind? He puts his hand out.
Sure. This would be interesting.
You put it in his hand?
Yeah, sure.
As soon as you put it in his hand, it shrinks down and closes up. You know how they have to extend out to like a foot long. It shrinks down to its normal 3-inch. It just goes whoop. And he says, "Very interesting."
I was wondering how to get it to do that again. That's why I've had to carry it around. Once it got bigger, I couldn't put it away. Thank you for fixing it for me. I appreciate it.
You want to roll a deception?
I rolled a 5 plus whatever bonuses I have.
What's the total?
What was the total?
Let's see. Deception?
Yes.
That's an actual...
It's a charisma deception check.
I have plus 6, so that makes it an 11
total.
Yeah.
As you're talking, he's skeptical, you can tell. And he sort of picks it up by one end, and he's sort of like grasping it with the tips of his finger and thumb and forefinger, and he kind of holds it back out to you so he can drop it in your hand.
Okay. All right. I'll put it away in a pocket and go, look at that! It fits in the pocket. I don't have to carry it around anymore.
Well, as soon as it hits your hand, it extends back out.
Uh,
It goes.
Is it still blue
Never-
with the like red?
And it's and stronger.
well, that's unfortunate. It never listens to me, I guess.
Hmm.
I'm just in the back going to Justinius. Are you sure the words are still working?
He says, Nils, how would you like to be assigned to our new guests as their page for the next few days? Excellent! I think that can be arranged. Perhaps you should go with them now. And the kid nods and walks over to you. He just sort of stands there.
To who? To
He's just kind of standing in front of all of you.
Oh, okay.
He's just kind of by the door and just waiting. Cromov says, can I get back to work now?
Yeah, I think we're. Thanks for showing off. For showing
Thank
you your office. Really nice place.
Sorry
you.
to disturb you.
Justinius and Tobik, I trust there will be no more interruptions of this nature in the future. And Justinius says, of course, my lord. And Tobik just silently nods.
We back out.
The kid follows you, and as soon as everybody has gone beyond the door jamb, Cromov slams the door.
I lean over to the kid. He's got a bit of a temper, doesn't he?
He just kind of puts his head down. He doesn't answer.
Oh, well, that gives me some information. I look back at Justinius. So, how do those wards work?
They don't allow for any sort of magical teleportation into or out of the royal grounds. If they're breached, we'll know.
So, if you don't, it means they haven't?
Either that, or whoever's on duty monitoring the breach has been...
Oh, shit. Okay, well, who monitors the breach thing?
Well... You know, I'm not sure it's a good idea to talk about this here. Perhaps we should maybe go back to your room and,
Perhaps have someone else go check on it? Just...
perhaps we should go back to your room.
Yeah, okay.
And not talk about it right here. And he just sort of starts walking away. And Tobik says, I think we are not needed here. And he looks at Sergeant Shona and the others, and they kind of disperse quietly. And
You're the worst house guest ever.
Nils follows you. And as you get close to your room again, Justinius turns and says, maybe we should speak only in your room with the door shut?
Or?
With the pages outside.
Oh yes, Nils, you can wait outside.
I hand socks to Nils and tell him he needs to go outside to go potty.
Socks does not want to
Really?
go with Nils.
Huh.
That's
That's new.
Socks does
Oh, maybe-
that. You know that thing when you try to put a cat in a carrier and the cat puts all four legs out?
Yep.
And wherever you go, the cat is putting a leg on part of the opening so that you can't. That's what Socks did.
Okay,
You
never
went
mind.
to hand
I thought-
Socks, and Socks turned its body and put its legs out so that it.
Poor baby. Okay. Never mind then. I guess he doesn't need to go potty. So you can just wait out here. I wish I could talk to Socks. 'Cause that's fascinating. He's not done that yet.
So you go into your room, and Justinius shuts
Yeah.
the door. And he says, the only people that are scheduled to monitor the arcane wards are the members of the council and the queens themselves.
So let me get this straight. If someone breaks through the wards right now, who would be alerted?
Whoever's on duty to be monitoring the wards. It's
You don't
very
know who that is right now?
mentally taxing, so they only work in 2-hour shifts.
But who is on the shift right now?
We would have to go look. Hubertus keeps the schedule.
Send a message to Hubertus.
Okay.
I'm
Actually,
going to
how big is
cast
the
my
castle?
own.
How big is the castle?
How big in terms of
It's
the entire
is it-
complex, or like how many rooms? How what?
Yeah, like how is it like from side to side, is it how many feet?
Oh, that is a good question. Let's find out.
And I'm still gonna try it because I don't know where he is, but I just want to know what the chances are of the spell failing.
So the castle building itself is probably, 200-300 feet.
Okay. And are we on like one of the sides of the castle?
Yeah, you're in a wing right now.
Okay. So if he's in the other opposite wing, this might fail.
Possibly.
Before casting anything, I look at Justinius and go, "There's no wards against using normal like paltry magic, right?"
No, just laws.
Cool. And I'm going to point towards the door and send Justinius a quick message.
Justinius?
Sorry, not Justinius. Hubertus.
Okay.
I'm gonna send him a message going, "Do you know who is on ward duty right now? You can answer this message and I will hear it." It has a 120-foot range.
It takes a few seconds, and then he comes back with Sabatine.
Okay. I look to the others. Sabatine. I'll look at Justinius.
Sabatine is the merchant,
Yeah, we met her.
the merchant guild leader.
Marching guild leader.
You did meet her.
She was the one that would vouch for us. If that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that got rid of one step in the way. Shall I message her? Ask her?
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
where
Yeah, has there been any
this
recent
is-
disruptions?
This is a matter of like security. Like, I think we'll be okay.
Would Sabatine be in the castle? I look at Justinius.
When the arcane ward is being watched, they are in the north tower.
And we're in the
You're in the east
west
wing.
east wing. Might be 120 feet from us. Might be more. I can try. I'll send a message to Sabatine then. Have the wards been breached?
You don't get a response.
Shit. Okay, we're too far away.
You need to try? I can send a message.
You could. I feel like she would have told someone by now, though.
Marcel, you don't feel like you're too far away. Like, you feel like the spell
Oh,
went out.
shit. Hold on.
Oh, shit.
I'm just looking at the wording of the message.
Because I think in general, with the way magic works, you know when your spell has been successful or failed, or when.
So did it not reach her, or it failed to like find the target?
Yeah.
Oh boy. You just see me send the message and go, oh shit. You might want to lead the way there then.
Oh no.
Justinius says, pardon?
I couldn't get to her. The spell failed to find her.
You mean?
I don't know. Let's go see. Oh
Let's
shit,
go.
that kid.
He opens the door and he opens his mouth to tell the page to go get Lord Tobic again. There's no page outside.
Of course. Of course.
His
Because
page
he's
is gone,
listening.
but also Nils is gone. They're both gone.
Oh,
Wait.
no.
Who's
Oh,
gone?
boy.
So Justinius has his own page
Oh, okay.
that he trusts and who he has wait at your door. That's who you told to go get him earlier, and then went and
Right.
got him. That's his own page. That's his personal page. And then Nils, Kromov's kid, who Imran tried to give socks to, was also out there waiting for you to get done with your business. They're both gone.
Oh, they're all in on this. They are all in on this. Oh my god.
God.
Oh no.
We shouldn't have sent Lord Tobic away.
We
Who's with the
shouldn't.
queens right now?
Do you think the queens are in on it?
No, I'm just concerned about their well-being.
No. I'm
They've got their
legitimately
own
asking.
protectors.
Do you think the queens are in on this? Because they also guard. It could be letting Larlac in.
No, because then they would have waited for one of the queens to be on duty instead of some other third person.
I don't know. I'm really suspicious of everybody now. I'm so worried. Let's just go find Sabatine.
17. Let's. Yeah, I think your wards are broken.
Let's go
Mr.
fast.
Justinian.
Let's go fast.
Yeah, we're walking.
I dragged Justinius out, and I send a message to Tobic. Our pages are gone. We need you back. We think it's been breached. We can't contact Sabatine. Come to the North Tower. Or make sure the queens are safe. I don't know how many words that was, but we'll see what gets through.
All you get in return is understood.
Well, we got Tobic in on it, so hopefully we can start figuring this out before more people end up.
Assuming Tobic is with us and not
Assuming Atobic is with us.
Axley, what are you thinking?
God bless.
The rod is still blue, right?
Yeah, and I don't think I can use it again. I think it's.
I mean,
beyond
that
its
at least
usage.
means Laralac is poofed.
Right.
But he's still
At
going to
least
have.
I was
he's
gonna say we could use it for Sabatine. But I
Yeah.
don't think I can use it.
Yeah, no.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no, we're going to the northern tower.
We are sprinting.
You're sprinting.
No running in the hallways.
For a special.
You
It's
heavy
an amount
helmet.
to take. Yeah, basically, that's what I feel like we've been doing this entire session.
What have you
Running
been
in the
doing?
hallways.
I feel like we've been hooked like a fish and we're just being drugged around the castle like on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god.
We're going to get there and she's just going to be drinking tea. What? There's nothing wrong here.
That's probably the best case scenario at this point, honestly.
Fair, yeah.
Like, she dead.
So you make it over to the tower, and you notice as you're going that everyone is starting to get onto
Mobilized.
high alert. Right, they're starting to move to a situation, code yellow, so to speak, where people are being much more vigilant, and there are no unnecessary tasks occurring. There aren't any people in the halls that aren't on absolutely necessary business, things like that. You hear sort of in the background, commanders taking roll call of, their people that they are in control of and stuff like that, and doing a head count and all that sort of thing. And you get over to the North Tower, and there's a guard at the door of the North Tower that says, "Justinius, I can't let you in here. Or any of these people. This is
What?
This is a restricted area."
Can you
Well, then
go
you
in?
go in there and make sure Sabatine is alive because we cannot contact her. Now.
I don't have a key to the door.
Actually, we have that thing, that unlock thing. Don't you have it?
The
Yeah,
chime?
it's always on me.
Yeah,
Doesn't that have like a huge knocking sound when it works?
possibly. I think it's gonna be fine.
I don't
I'm
think so.
so close to just far stepping in there.
I mean, you might as
don't wanna
well.
set
Just wait.
off
The
the
rules are
again.
out. No, that's fair.
I don't want to possibly set off the wards again and mess things up. So,
Yeah, that's fair.
who has the key then? Just Sabatine?
Yes, that's a safety measure.
She may be dead in there. So what happens if whoever's in there falls unconscious? You have no security measures for
We
someone
check
falling
in every 20 minutes.
When was the last time
check
you
in
checked
now.
in?
It's been about 18 minutes.
Fuck, it's too late. Okay, so how do you check in?
Sabatine comes down, gives the all clear signal.
And if she doesn't,
Then we go in.
how?
Well, I have to call Tobik.
Didn't we already call Tobik? Where is Tobik?
Call Tobik. Is he coming?
He's off doing something. She is off doing something.
No.
Remember, all the elite guards are women, so
Yeah.
you can use the chime
Actually,
of
do
opening.
you?
I mean, yeah, we could.
I'm gonna say, actually, do you want to?
Can you? Are we at the like? Does the tower go up, or are we at like the
Up,
door that
goes up.
goes? So where the door opens, and then you have to go up a staircase to
Yes.
where the
Mhm.
is.
Exactly.
So knocking won't necessarily get anyone's attention from inside.
Correct.
So why don't we wait the minutes until the normal check-in occurs, and if it doesn't happen,
We could.
then we open it.
We
I mean-
could. But I feel like time is precious right now. We don't know what's happening. We need to know if she's alive, because if we can get in there and revive her, we might have a shot of figuring out what's happening.
We
But-
know he's already left. The problem is we don't know who's compromised in the castle.
It's turning into Among Us.
Which at this point means, I don't know. I mean, if he's not in the castle, the whole going on alert is more of the fact that we have 2 missing pages and we don't know who to trust. My other suggestion would be, because this is a tower, it probably has windows, someone fly out and see if they can see anything through the window.
Do we lose
If we
Kronos?
No, you're just frozen.
What?
We could wait. At this point, it's going to be like a minute. But the
Okay,
thing is,
so-
she doesn't. Why isn't Lord Tobic here? We told her that Sabatine was not.
That's what I'm kind of doing. I'm kind of doing a check back, pacing back to the wherever I can see.
I tried to send a message to Sabatine again. Hey, are you okay in there? Fuck. Yeah, no, she's not coming down.
Are there any windows? Are there any windows in this hallway?
Well, you're in the courtyard, and there's a door into the tower. It's the only, according to the guard, it's the only entry into the tower.
So there's no windows up top?
Okay.
Okay, I think it might... If Lord Tobic is not showing up, we may just want to chime it.
I think we just need to chime it. We need to know what's happening.
I look at Justinius. Should we force the door or not? She may already be dead.
Yes.
Okay. Use the chime.
Okay. There's a loud sort of gong sound, and the door just kind of swings open.
All right.
Bolt up the stairs as fast as I can.
Yep.
It's
I bring up the rear.
3 flights up in a spiral staircase that goes around the tower,
God, cardio.
and at the top
Leg day.
there's an archway that leads into a room, and laying on the floor is Sabatine with blood
I check for a pulse.
coming out of her head.
Coming out of her head.
Mm,
Yeah, she's been beaten about the head and neck with a blunt instrument.
Is she alive?
Fuck. No,
Nope.
I don't think so.
And she's been dead for longer than 6 seconds. Did the guard come up with us?
Yes.
Well,
He's
Can I-
standing there in shock. He's completely pale and frozen.
I send a message to the queens. Sabatine's been murdered.
You can't reach the queens.
motherfucker.
With
Oh,
a
wait,
sending spell?
Correct.
Fuck! What is happening?
Emergency meeting.
Look.
Everyone is sus.
Oh my god, that's exactly
Justinius,
I'm serious.
Justinius figures out what you're trying to do. He says, no, look, if there's an emergency, Tobic's first task is to sequester the queens.
Yeah, they're probably in an
Okay,
area
good.
where they
They're-
cannot be reached by
Okay,
magic.
okay.
Protected now, so you can't reach them.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Oh my god, I'm panicking. Can I just like look at the blood, look at the head wound, and see like how long? Like, is it drying? Is it fresh?
You
Is
can do
like
a medicine check.
yeah?
Konos,
Oh, I really I liked her. She was nice.
Konos, when you enter the
sick.
room, you went up to the room, right, with them?
Yes.
When you get up there, Bolum suddenly springs into your mind
Mm-mm.
and says, I smell it. One of them was here. One of them was here. They gated in. We need to go get them. There was one of them here in this room.
He's talking about the hounds.
Oh no.
One of the creatures. And you know where it came from.
It had to magic in.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And out again.
And out. That's right.
So he's not here now.
It's not here.
We need to find out what happened with Nils and Justinius's page. Which means Cromov is suspicious as well, or was it just...
Oh, Cromov is definitely like oh, he's guilty.
Do I see any events?
No, I'm
Any of the what?
Any events? This is turning into a game of Among Us.
That's exactly what I was thinking this entire time. Because I was like, okay, Tobik is okay. We know Tobik is fine. I was like going down the list. I'm like, we're playing Among Us. Oh my god.
I actually put Nils as sus on my notes for today.
That'll be the one note for this session.
Yeah.
No,
Well, no, it also says 17 is dead.
That's terrible.
Well, I was putting named characters, and then she's like dead, so I was like, okay, well, I'm adding now is dead.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They're not going to go for.
So, how do these shields, the wards work? Now that they're broken, can anybody just warp in, or is it just something that would tell you?
They're permanent, and the only reason that anyone is in the tower for a period of time is to monitor to make sure they're not being siphoned or breached.
Is there any way to attune to or find out how they've been breached in this tower?
Perhaps, but I don't know what it would be. I'm not a caster.
Is there any... I look at Axley. Is there anything magical in this room? Or hidden?
Do I see anything?
Everything in this room is magical.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Whole room it's just a magical focus.
There is a machine that looks almost like a telescope, kind of, that is giving off probably the strongest signature. Of active arcane energy.
But there's no windows.
Nope.
Let's look through the telescope then.
That's the thing to check out.
Okay,
It's probably a scrying device, but
probably.
checking out.
Who's going to look through it?
I'll look through it.
Make me a wisdom save.
Oh, good.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no.
6.
I'll come back to D&D, everybody. We've been gone for a month. Can't you tell? Oh man.
You look through the telescope and you see an eye looking back at you. And then you pass out.
Good.
And when you wake up, you're You're only out for 3 seconds. You literally, everyone you see them walk over to the telescope and just sort of look. They kind of have to get on their tiptoes to look through the eyepiece, and then they just fall on the ground. Just. And 3 seconds later, you see them sit up. And Marcel, you do not remember the last 6 minutes. You remember walking out of one side of the courtyard and walking towards the tower and about to talk to the guard, and then all of a sudden you're waking up, sitting in this room with a telescope above you, and everyone's freaking out, and there's a dead body on the ground.
Oh
But
gosh,
are
she's
you
dead.
okay? Yes, we established this.
Did we?
What just happened?
Yeah, you all right?
Yeah?
How'd I get here?
We
We ran up here.
boy.
Did I just pass out and you dragged me here
No,
Oh,
you
no.
looked in the telescope and passed out for a few seconds.
then? Seconds? Okay. I don't remember going to any telescope.
Yeah.
What telescope? Oh, that's a nice telescope.
Yeah, no, don't look at it again. Okay, what's the last thing you do remember?
Walking across the courtyard, we were heading to the tower. Is this the tower?
This is the tower.
Yeah. Okay, nobody touched the telescope. Apparently it eats memories.
Okay, that's cool.
Seems like
That's
a weird
great.
thing to have in a castle, but okay.
Well, everything in here is magical, so it has some function,
Marcel,
security function.
Marcel, you do remember an eye looking at you. It had an amber iris.
That's weird. I don't remember anything, but I do remember like an eye, like an amber eye looking back at me. Look, I'll admit I'm not the smartest. Maybe someone smarter or wiser than me does things next time. Amber eye. Have I seen an amber eye before?
You want to roll a history check? With disadvantage.
Whoa. No good.
I was gonna say Amber's new. We've done a lot of amethyst, but Amber's new.
Okay, well I rolled a 17 and
Oh,
a 3.
Oh, I was so excited. I was like, oh, that's not so bad.
So that's a 4 total.
You feel like you remember things about eyes, but
Yeah.
your memory is really fuzzy today. Like it feels really like you need a nap, maybe.
Yeah. The stress is getting to me.
I'm gonna examine Sabatine's body and see.
Yeah, I'll help Axley. We'll play crime scene investigation here. And see
Okay.
if we can find like what they used to hit her over the head. Like if she has anything on her body that would indicate something, just personal affects, things like that.
Anything in her hand?
Yeah. If she wrote anything with blood. We're grasping at straws here.
So actually roll me a medicine check with advantage.
First roll is a 17. Second roll is 7. So let's see, medicine. And I have a +1, so that would be 18.
Okay. So it's interesting because while she has been hit on the head several times, there isn't any blood spatter anywhere. So that's weird. Also, but she did bleed on the ground like under her. So it's not like everything was dry and then she was placed there. So obviously there's something weird going on. She doesn't have any personal effects except for a necklace, and that necklace has the symbol of the Merchants Guild on it. I mean, it's It's the same kind of symbology that Marcel and Imran saw her with.
Is it magical?
It is not, but it's like solid gold, solid platinum, or something like that. It's extremely valuable. And you do notice that. So you look at her head, and it looks like she was beat on the head, but you also notice that there's some marks further down, and so if you start to like move her collar away, and you pull her shirt sleeves up, you see that there are these huge scratches on her body.
But the like clothing wasn't affected.
And I guess so. The question I have is, so if you pull her collar down a little bit, you see some scratches. If you pull her sleeve up, you see scratches. So are you going to unclothe her further? I guess is the question.
I don't know if that's appropriate for here and for us, but so it seems like maybe she wasn't killed here. Maybe her body was deposited here shortly after she was dead, but she may not have been killed here.
You think she was like pulled through a portal and then
Or something, yeah.
Sent back. I asked Bolum, is that what happened?
I mean, how long was are the shifts? If the shifts are 2 hours, right?
2
And it was
hours.
2 hours is almost up, so it could have happened any time in the last 2 hours.
In the
Doesn't mean
last
it was an
like
immediate
18
thing.
minutes because they do regular check-ins, and she had checked in 18 minutes ago, so it's
it happened recently?
relatively recent. But yeah, what's Bolum got to say? Anything else?
What are you asking him?
Did the creature come here, or did it pull her out of this room and attack her and put her back?
It was here. I can feel that it was here.
Is it still here?
No.
All right. Bolum says it came here, attacked, and then left.
Where did it leave to?
Could they
That's
have,
what
like,
I'm trying to
switched
find
the
out.
room? Because like the other room didn't look the same either. Do they have like a teleporting room that just overlaps? I don't know.
What did
My
that
head
telescope
hurts.
do to you?
You know, I have a headache starting.
I didn't follow a word of that, but
I kind of did. It's weird, but I like it.
Just you know how like we have the curiosity. Imagine like a room that could like teleport in over other rooms.
You can roll an Arcana check if you want to know if you know anything about that.
Hey, look, I actually rolled well this time. 19.
that's exciting.
So you know that there are such things as pocket dimensions,
Mm-hmm.
and it's possible that if you were to teleport someone into a pocket dimension, you could easily deposit them outside of that pocket dimension. So you don't have to have a teleporting room, you just have a pocket dimension that you can go to or come back from.
Yeah, I'm just imagining something like that with like attached to a door or something. So that could be what's happening here. It would explain why when we knocked on the door, he just disappeared, like canceling out that pocket dimension, basically. But that still puts under suspicion the Minister of Commerce. Why didn't none of us decide to try to like figure out if he was lying to us.
Maybe it was kind of awkward at the time, but
Yeah, we just got
Yeah,
caught.
we were kind of trying to lie to him first. So
Yeah.
I think a good step forward would be to find the body of the page that was spying on you guys. I feel like if we find that one, we can kind of figure out and gauge where Laralac has gone and where he's been and how fast he can travel. Well, I guess we kind of know he can
It's magic.
teleport.
Yeah, and we know he can teleport into the castle now because
words are.
But we
the
need, we
wards
need
are
to
not
get
powerful
someone.
enough. I mean, the wards are still there.
Yeah,
That's what
it's just
Justinia said. But if he's already done it at least twice, that means those wards are not keeping him out. He's using
Right.
too high of a spell or whatever.
and even if we do have someone like managing those wards and like warning people when they're broken, just using it as like an alarm, you can easily just kill them.
Yeah.
We need
I wouldn't
some
leave.
kind of guard.
I wouldn't leave Sabatine here. Maybe have the guard take her body into the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, or is there?
They might want to
is-
do like an investigation though. Like, you should probably leave it pretty undisturbed for now. Well, I guess.
Yeah.
Justinius, what
Yes.
is protocol here in terms of figuring out what happened?
Well, the queens will be on high alert, and so everyone is. No one's allowed to leave the royal complex or enter it right now. And we'll have to talk to Hubertus to get a revised schedule for the wards.
You can't leave someone in
I
here
would.
alone, though.
You gotta heavily revise it. You gotta double up on security and spellcasters specifically.
Because if it comes, you said the queens themselves act as. Imagine if it had been a queen right here instead of Sabatine.
They cannot do this anymore. They cannot do this anymore.
Is there nothing you can
Oh.
do for her?
I don't think so. She's been dead for too long for me. I mean, I can.
Perhaps Rayla the Wise could do it.
Rayla's not really keen on raising the dead.
But
Yeah,
there's
she
got to be
would.
something that's not resurrection or
Well,
reincarnation. There's
I-
got to be something, right?
Shit. Talk to dead.
Yeah, Kim, you've done that before.
Yeah,
We could talk to her spirit.
So,
See what
What
she
happened?
knows. Yeah.
yeah.
what did you see? Who killed you?
We could ask her that,
I mean-
but that's not going to bring her back. But we
Right.
may be able to get information that way. I don't think either of you have that prepared today, though. You weren't exactly expecting to find a dead body.
Yeah, definitely not.
Hold on. We're far away, and I have no idea this is going to work. I'm going to send a message to Nils. Where the fuck are you?
I really like to just imagine
You could
Marcel
use-
just like quickly spinning around and like pointing somewhere. Where the fuck are you?
Konos,
Okay.
you could use
And
your,
the rest
you could
of you
use
are
your
just like,
eyes.
That telescope is really not something we should mess with.
I mean,
just
I
pointing
can,
at a wall,
I can
going,
only,
"What the fuck are you?"
actually, I can only use the robe once a day, and I've already done it.
Oh, that sucks. That's
But
okay.
Can I
mean,
send Otto? I want to send Otto like to fly around and look around for Nils around the courtyard,
There you go.
and maybe, if possible, fly by Kromov's office. But
I can.
I'm flying around the castle won't raise any
Yeah.
rows.
I can also locate creature. So
Okay.
if they're within 1,000 feet, we can also track them down.
What did Marcel cast?
Message.
Message? Okay.
I have double the thing because I've got spell sniper, so it's 120 feet instead of 60 feet.
Ooh.
So It's a whisper, which means they have to actually be able to whisper.
They have to, they have to respond. They don't have to speak out loud. They just have to.
Well, it says they reply in a whisper.
Yeah, so they have to be able to speak.
Right. So all you hear is.
Oh shit!
Oh
It
my
wasn't Nils,
god.
guys.
Oh, good lord.
Okay. Well, this choice number 3? I can't.
Wait.
Okay,
So I turned
creature?
to Justinius. Who was your page? The one that was with Nils?
Who was it? What do you mean, who was it? You saw him.
What's his name?
Sure, now you make me look up.
Oh, jeez.
What's his name?
His name was Galley.
Galley. Okay. Great. How long has he been your trusted page for?
3 years.
Maybe
He's not
compromised.
of royal lineage. He's my cousin's son. This was going to be he was going to rise up in the household.
All right, well, I'm sending another message, this time to Galley. Where the fuck are you?
Much like the
Oh no.
much like Nils's response, you get a much more sluggish
Oh good.
kind of response.
Okay, so both of the pages have been kidnapped and are tied up right now. Who else was with us? Lord Tobik had left us before we
Sergeant.
got to the door, right?
Yeah. And Sergeant Shona and 4 other women.
Sergeant Shona and the 4 other women also left us before we got back to our room?
They all dispersed. Yeah,
Mhm.
none of them followed you
Okay.
back.
I mean, literally anybody. I sent a message to my mom.
Okay, what does it say?
Hey mom, shit's going down. Please respond. I hope you're safe. We're doing okay. We're just trying to find people.
She says, he's here.
What was that?
Oh shit.
He's here.
That's what I was worried about. God dang it. I book it. I cast locate creature and I locate my mom and I'm booking it.
Wait a minute, but the staff is the rod is still blue?
Yep.
Yeah. I know. We gotta go. We gotta move. We gotta keep moving. We can't just sit. If I'm not booking it, I guess. I will cast locate creature and locate my mom.
She's in her room.
Okay, that's good. She's still in her room, but Lorelak is there. We have a problem.
But he can't be.
I don't projection something, but it's threatening and it's got my mom.
So we're heading back?
I would hope so.
God, Mary Chase, this is
This is ridiculous.
Justinius says, I'm staying here. I will deal with 17.
Okay. If you can get any spellcasters to try and find your pages, they're in trouble too. We've got real big problems.
Yeah, according to the response I got, they're probably gagged somewhere. But still alive.
They are tied up
For
and
now.
gagged. For now, the other one didn't live so long after.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got big problems.
All right, so
And we'll
I
just
want to
have
have
to
Otto Yeah, I want to have Otto just like perch on top of this tower, be surveying like the whole exterior, and let me know if anything suspicious pops up.
Okay.
Keeping a lookout, and I'm following everybody else.
Okay.
You ready for a fight?
Sure.
Great. Back to the room.
So you're going to your mom's room?
Mm-hmm.
Axley, what are you doing?
Wherever this locate creature is.
I'm gonna follow.
I'm pulling Axley to the front with me, and like, I've got his hand in the death grip. Like, just freaking out slightly.
I'm gonna keep the rod out so we can see if the
Yeah.
instant it changes from blue to something else.
So you get to your mom's room, and I'm assuming you just open the door.
Yeah. No knocking this time.
You open the door and rush in, and your mom is sort of cowering behind. Not really cowering, she's more like she was just protecting herself.
In defensive position.
Right, behind a tall backed chair. And in the middle of the room is Blaxley with a dagger in his hand. And on the floor is the invisible page, but not the invisible page. So he looks like the invisible page, but
Who's on the floor?
the invisible page, but not the invisible page. So he looks like the invisible page, but he looks like he was raised
Yeah.
and now he's been killed again
By Blaxley.
by Blaxley.
Any sign of
What
the
hap-
other two pages?
Nope.
Is everybody okay? I run over to my mom.
Yes, I'm fine. I was packing up to move to the Abbey, and this young man knocked at the door, and he came in, and then he started threatening me. Blaxley killed him, and when he did, he started shriveling up. Like that.
Did he try to attack you?
I'm not sure. I thought he was just wanted to help me or talk to me. I don't really know. It happened so quick. I
turned to Blaxley. Why did you attack him then?
Don't you see him?
Well, yes, but how could you tell?
I could smell it. Roll me a perception check. Everybody.
That's concerning. I have not rolled above a 5 this entire session.
18.
Yeah, 18 total.
8.
9.
I'm very worried.
Actually, you notice that the dagger in Blaxley's hand is not actually a dagger.
Oh
It's
no.
the short sword with the skull.
It's the sword.
Oh.
Marcel, to you it looks like
How did you get?
It's sort of glowing and amber kind of, not amber, amethyst kind of color.
Oh, What do you, what do you use? What did you use to kill him? What is that?
It's the first thing that came to hand.
Wasn't that in a bag of holding that we're carrying around?
No, it was in the
It was in the
curiosity.
curiosity.
Oh, it was in the
Last we
curiosity.
saw it.
I thought we
Yeah,
had
we
shoved it
didn't.
in the bag of holding. Oh no, we decided not to because then we'd have to grab it to pull it out.
Yeah.
Wait, but Curiosity's not here.
Mm.
Back on the ship.
Mhm.
He gets around.
Mhm.
No kidding. You happened to find the weapon we left in the Curiosity here in this room?
I just reached out for a dagger and it was there.
Oh, I like that even less. Why does
Can
it?
we tell if he's lying?
Can everyone else see like emerald glow on this thing?
I don't think.
You can not emerald, amethyst.
Amethyst, sorry.
But no one else sees the glow, but you can roll a wisdom insight check. Actually, you have advantage on that.
I'm gonna try a different dice.
Should have kept the
Okay,
one that
Insight
that's a little
check.
better.
Yes.
Insight 12.
Unnatural
12.
20.
7 and 14 plus 1, 15 total.
What'd Konos get?
12.
So 12, 12, 15,
Unnatural 20.
and a natural 20.
Not natural, unnatural.
An unnatural 20. A dirty 20.
Yes. A dirty 20.
It doesn't seem like he's lying.
Yeah, I didn't think he was.
That sword has wanted to be wielded by one of us since we first found it.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like it found a
And
way.
it's wanted you or Blaxley this whole time too.
What concerns me is that I can see it. Glowing amethyst.
Blaxley, how are you feeling now that you're holding that thing?
What do you mean?
That is a magical weapon that's probably cursed. How do you feel?
I feel fine. I protected Rayla.
Right?
Yeah, we know that thing was the undead thing was not here for any helpful purpose. It was certainly an enemy.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a good thing. Can you put the sword down now?
Why?
Because last time I played with something that had amethyst in it, I really didn't want to put it down.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna wait on this one. I'm gonna cast Dispel Evil and Good on Blaxley.
What?
Protection from evil and good?
No, Dispel Evil and
Dispel.
Good. Text you for the nope. Break enchantment. As your action, you can touch a creature. Oh, I gotta touch him. I gotta grab him. You can reach a creature that is charmed, frightened, or possessed by a celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. The creature you touch is no longer charmed, frightened, or possessed. So we'll see if that does anything.
So you're gonna do it? You're gonna touch him and cast it?
Yeah, I'm gonna lunge at him and grab him.
Oh, you're lunging at him?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. Like, oh, we did this once with Marcel and we waited way too long.
Roll me a dexterity check.
Oh, I'm so bad at those.
Yes, I
just a
guess.
check.
Yeah,
Not a
just a
save.
check.
Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. It's 0. That's another 5.
0? You rolled a 0?
This is
No, that's her bonus.
no, I
She
rolled a
Oh.
5. That was my bonus, so it's a total of 5.
You could tell he tries to move and get out of your way, but he's not that quick right now. Like it's almost like he's moving in slow motion a little bit. So you're actually able to sort of grab his arm or his shoulder or
Something's not right, dude. I grab him
And
and
you
cast
cast the spell, but he does not let go of the sword. He's just still got it in his hand. But Marcel, you notice the sword stops glowing.
Can I try kicking it out of his hand?
Sure. Want to roll an attack roll?
Okay. Just a straight roll, I guess. Improvised.
With your proficiency, I mean,
Okay.
you're proficient with your own leg.
What's our proficiency? Oh, 4. 18.
So as this sword flies, you kick him in the arm, and his arm goes up, and the sword sort of goes into the air.
I just feel like we're all staring at it.
Yeah, and everybody's kind of watching it. Is anybody going to try to catch it?
No.
I will cast telekinesis and try to and yoink, magically grab it.
Okay, and do what with it?
I'm just gonna keep it like hovering in the air, keep it from hitting the ground or from anybody from touching it, or
Okay.
it from touching anybody else.
So the sword flies up
Yep.
into the air and then stops.
Oh no. It's sentient. It can move.
It's all right. I've got it.
Oh.
And Blaxley just looks up.
How you feeling now, buddy?
Blaxley goes, "What'd you have to go and do that for?"
This thing is.
What did it say to you?
Nothing. I just reached for a weapon and it was there so I could protect her.
Well, apparently we're all convinced it's evil, and I saw it glow amethyst, and I don't trust amethyst anymore.
Okay.
It's a fair statement.
I didn't see it glow.
No, but I'm the one that was possessed by the amethyst thing, so apparently now I can see amethyst glows. I don't know how that works.
I don't either because I didn't see it, but I'm gonna trust you on this one. Actually, how are you feeling? This thing had a weird connection with you too. It was like very, yeah, it was very persistent to follow you. Are you okay?
I'm not going to touch it.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think that spell did anything.
I didn't know it was here. That's very strange that it can travel such significant distance.
Yeah.
That's another problem for another day. Are we gonna try and find these other pages that are kidnapped so they don't turn into that? And I just are to the one on the floor that's like withering.
That's a good point.
The one that's on the ground is literally like desiccating in front of your eyes.
Like turning to dust.
Stinks.
Oh boy. So we have 2 missing pages. We still don't. Well, this page could have grabbed them.
Missing pages.
He does. I mean, if
That's
he's undead, he
true.
would have had strength to grab both of them. But they didn't even cry out. It almost feels like more than one person would have had to do something, unless they like got knocked out with like a sleep spell or something.
I mean, it could have been the 2 other kids of
But why would they go after Nils? Why would they go after their own? Like, I don't know if Cromov. I honestly don't know if Cromov has anything to do with this. He might. But if he did, why would he send Nils to then knock him out? That seems like extra work to me.
Can you send a message to Kromov's other kids? The other 2? Where they're at? See if they're in the same situation?
They're probably fine. They weren't with us. Everything seems to be happening around us.
Yeah.
Or to get to us. Even when Laralock was in the castle, he was right below us. Why is he so concerned about us? Does he really think
Like
we
he just
can
play
poke him? He has more
Well, he sure is
confidence in
taking
us
an interest.
He has more confidence in us than we do.
before this telekinesis wears off, I want to kind of like just grab a pillowcase and just tuck this sword inside of it.
Sure.
All right, tie it up.
All right, so what's the plan from here? Because it seems like whenever we stand too long, things start happening, and then we're running.
That's true. And we still have 2
Let's try and get ahead of the next thing.
Well, we did tell Justinius to look for the pages. It is his cousin or whatever that is being held.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to try, like, locating them with a spell? How are you doing on spells?
Not terribly. I have quite a few. That is a 5th level. Or no, is it? No, it's a 4th level. So I got 2 more 4th levels, 1 more 3rd, 3 seconds, 4 firsts, my 5th and my 6th.
We
I'm doing
could
okay.
play. We could play yes or no with the pages via message. He may not be able to respond vocally, but he can. 1 for yes and 2 for no.
Yeah. I like it a lot. Let's do that. Let's try it, and then if not, we can do.
So
locate.
I'll use message on Justinius's page, and
Ask
basically,
them if they're in like immediate danger first.
yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Like,
Okay, perfect.
I'm just trying to figure out how much I can say. It doesn't actually say. Okay. So send a message. Go say 1 for yes, 2 for no. Are you in immediate danger?
Who are you talking to, Nils or Galley?
Galley.
Okay. And what's the question?
Are you in immediate danger?
He indicates no.
Great. So they're just shoved somewhere. Maybe we should start looking for like closets close to our room. They may have just been put out of the way, but why? It's not like they came after us. That's what I don't get. Why bother with the 2 pages that were outside the door? Were they just unlucky that someone was passing by that was like and took them out? Like, that's what doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, they might have seen something, but they weren't supposed to, and they didn't want them to warn us. That's my only guess. Right now,
I'm gonna send another message. Was it a 15-year-old page that took you out?
Yes.
Okay. So we took care of that. Or more like Blaxley did. I think it's shriveling up because it was that dagger that was used on him. Do you?
You don't think it's just because it was an undead, unholy?
I don't know. I feel like we've killed undead things before and they didn't necessarily shrivel up and desiccate. I don't know.
They're elected.
Popped into my head.
Well, yeah.
Just something that popped into my head. You know, I don't have any filter, Brian.
What did Konos say?
Lerelak did, didn't he?
He did what?
Shrivel up and die.
Shrivel up and husk when we killed him.
Killed.
Oh, killed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe ask them if they're still on this floor. They can't be too far away.
No, we should probably
Right?
just look for a closet in the hallway.
Well, I think I should leave Blaxley with a weapon that's not like evil. And maybe let them stay here and lock the door and do not open the door for literally anybody but us.
I can give him a dagger. I feel like I already gave him a dagger. I'll give it. I have 2 daggers.
He has a dagger.
Oh,
He has a dagger. See?
cool.
I told you.
Use that one, please.
He says, I thought I was.
Great.
Boy. This day is so complicated. Let's just find these kids.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out into the hallway and
As you're about to open the door,
Oh God.
there's something banging on the door.
Please be not an enemy.
Who is it?
It is Cromov. Open the door.
Oh shit, not him.
God. Open the door with my hand on the mace.
He says, Nils, where's my son?
We don't know. He's been kidnapped by
Excuse
that thing
me?
that's on the
I
floor.
left my son in your care and you lost him?
I turn and point at the page that's on the floor. See that thing?
That's what we're up against right now.
That looks like Alexander.
Oh, you knew him. I'm sorry.
Who's Alexander?
Oh boy.
My nephew.
Oh, fuck. Well, I'm terribly sorry about your nephew.
You killed my nephew and you lost my son? Where is my son?
Your nephew kidnapped him. He's probably locked up in a closet somewhere.
The Queens will hear about this.
Oh my god.
Can I insight check him and see if he's actually like...
Yes, please do.
Sure.
Just shocked at everything that's suddenly being thrust on his face.
Sure, go ahead and roll.
Great. Did I mention I don't have much wisdom?
Oh, I should have done it. Couldn't have rolled that with the telescope.
You know.
What'd you roll?
19.
He is hard to read. He's not giving off the typical indicators of a person who is hiding something or lying. He's not sweating. His eyes aren't darting around. He's not trying to avoid looking at you directly. He's not trying to change the subject. He doesn't have a twitch. He's not shaking.
And he seems genuinely affected by what he's just been told and seen.
He seems like he's shocked that Alexander's on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But you still, you're just not sure.
Great. Why were you looking for Nils?
I had a message for him.
Okay, I don't care about that. That's between you and Nils. Oh. I'm sure we'll find Nils. That was what we were trying to figure out right now. But I don't know the layout of this castle. We don't have any other pages, do we?
No, they've all been sequestered because we are now in an emergency situation. Apparently, the queens have been taken to their safe room, and all of the elite guard are with the queens. Apparently, Sabatine has been murdered.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
I liked her.
Me too. When did you meet her?
When we were out.
The night of the dragon.
Curious.
She was helping on the streets. We were helping on the streets. We bumped into each other. I wonder. I'm gonna send another message to the page. Can you make some noise? And I'm gonna go out on the hallway.
I'll join you.
Right about then, Justinius comes around the corner. We have them.
Oh, good. Where?
They're in the
That's good.
infirmary now.
Where?
Okay.
Oh, good. Are they okay?
Cromov turns and goes. He doesn't even say anything to you. He just turns and goes away.
Were they in a closet?
They were in an alcove.
Alcove. Close enough. How far from our room?
Just down the hall here.
It looks like it was the page that went missing that took them out. They must have noticed something wrong and...
They said that he called them down, and then that's the last they remember. And they woke up tied and gagged.
Do they have any injuries?
No.
They didn't have a concussion? Then how did they get taken out?
I don't know what's going on around here, but we've sealed the perimeter. No one can enter or leave the premises.
Well, I kind of wave at the body in the room. We found our missing page.
He sort of looks over, and then he does a double take. What
Remember when I
happened?
mentioned he might be undead?
Yeah, Marcel
I wasn't wrong.
hit the nail on the head with that one.
He tried to attack Emmeren's mother, and Blaxley stopped him.
I found out who had the shift before Sabatine.
Oh. Ooh.
Cromov.
Does that surprise anybody at this point?
Maybe we should.
Where did he go? Which way did he
The
go?
infirmary. Maybe we should go follow after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably smart.
I don't know if that really says anything besides because she was in there for.
I was gonna say a while.
Flowers, right?
But I suppose if
But
he
she
was
never signaled a breach.
no,
Right.
and
May have
yet
happened
the
so
breach
fast
wa-
she didn't have time to.
the first breach may have been
How-
into that room to take her out. Is my guess.
Right. How is the signal passed? Like, how long does it take? Is it instantaneous? Does it take a minute to cast a spell?
It's instantaneous. The breach is transmitted to all of the Watchers.
So they couldn't have just showed up there and taken her out
The person on guard has to
to alert them.
yeah. Basically, they prepare a spell that is in their mind with only the last syllable left to cast. And if there's a breach, the last syllable is what they do, and that sends the signal to everyone. It's a split second.
So if there was a breach during Kromov's period and he didn't alert, and then they waited until Sabatine entered, took her out before she finished prepping the spell. No, but that would have been a while ago. I feel like if someone had entered the room, she might have just let out the spell anyways, even if it wasn't a breach.
What if she was
Regards.
taken out as fast as our pages were taken out? She were knocked unconscious and then killed. it might have been fast enough. Because if the person was already in the room, they could have snuck up on her.
But
The element of
wounds
surprise.
were too all over the place. It looked more like someone in battle would get that many wounds, which means she put up a fight. I don't think she would have had scratches if someone were to just take her out. What if she was dragged into
Woken
this?
up.
What if she was just dragged into this demi-plane and dealt
That's
there?
still a possibility. I don't know.
I mean,
Yes.
Cromov is still loose, and
Yeah, he should be apprehended and taken into questioning, for sure. At least put on, like, house arrest or something.
Everyone's on
Whatever.
house arrest.
yeah, we're all locked.
Yeah, but he's still, like, wandering the halls. Like, what's up with that?
That's
He needs
house
to be in the room.
arrest. What would you like me to do? He has
Okay, like, room arrest.
He has many
Like-
allies on the council.
Yes, but he was the last one to see Sabatine alive.
How long
Still
was
at-
Sabatine
On watch
duty?
for.
An hour.
So then she checked in with that guard at least a couple times.
At least twice.
Wow, what are they after? They can't be after. You don't think they're after your mom just because she's getting made into the next holy person in the city?
No, that was literally a thing that happened, like,
It
4
hasn't
hours
even
ago.
been announced.
Right. Like, it's still, that's not... My only guess is that they're still...
Been announced. That doesn't mean no one knows.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was seen
Yeah.
talking to all
Oh,
the people.
I kind of just feel like Laralac is sowing chaos before he throws an army at us. Like, if the castle's in disarray, if we don't know who to trust, if everything's a mess, it's going to make it that much easier to just crumble everything.
Justinius? The teleporting thing, is that only for the castle, or is that all of Calport?
Just the royal manor.
So he wouldn't need to disable that if he wanted to teleport somewhere into the city. What does he want? That's my big question.
Well, we know he was spying on us because we traced the page that was spying on Konos and Axley back to him.
Yeah.
So it's something to do with us.
He sent the
Or at least
page to
part
your
of it.
mother.
He sent the page to my mother, so it's something to do with her. Maybe now that she's back in contact with Goras, she's a threat. Maybe that's something that's not back on his radar.
Maybe. Which means
Especially
both you and her are in danger.
I was going to say, especially since we pulled that miracle show with the dragon, it might have been a great, like, hey, look at what we can do, kind of. Now it's on
So
his
there's
radar.
a possibility that the next abbot of the city is being targeted, not the queens.
Could be.
Though Laralac might not like the fact that we're getting cushy with the queens if they are two potent spellcasters that we could use against him.
Could also be sabotaging that then. Sabotaging us, trying to get us in trouble with the queen. Training us.
Yeah.
It just hasn't worked out yet.
You might want to at least have someone watching Cromov. Maybe someone you trust, Justinius. He
Maybe a
can't have done
handful.
this. Laralac cannot have done this without inside help.
Oh, for sure.
And the page that went missing was related to Cromov. And Cromov was the last one to see Sabatine alive. That's 2 marks against him. I'm still not entirely convinced he has anything to do with this. He may just be a straw man.
You're not.
He was
What
also
more does it
related.
take?
He was related to the invisible spy too.
Yeah, he was related. Well, that's what I said. He was related to the invisible spy, and he saw 17 last. So that's two things that have happened that are related to him. He needs to be watched.
Oh,
Not just under
what about the
house
little thing about Laralac was in his room?
Well, yeah,
Yep.
that too.
Yeah,
That's just a,
three. That's three.
That's 3.
I think that's 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Laralac was in his room. Yeah, I mean everything's pointing to him. I don't like that. Maybe we can question the kids that were with him. And Nils. Well, oh shit, he went to go see Nils. Maybe we should go see Nils too. Still don't know why he's in Nils with us.
Justinius can take you to the infirmary.
Yeah, we're pushing him to the infirmary.
Yes, please.
What are you doing with Rayla?
You want to come with us, or do you want to stay put?
Do you think it's safe?
No.
Whatever you do isn't safe at the moment. I
You're
don't feel
probably
like we're
safer
safe,
with
but I don't
us.
feel like
So you think I should go with you?
Safety in numbers. Might as well.
yeah, let's all take a field trip to the infirmary. Blaxley, come along.
You want Blaxley to go too?
Yeah.
Konos, what are you doing with the pillowcase?
Keep you as far away from Blaxley as possible at the moment.
You're taking it.
Yeah, I'll take it with.
Keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it can keep an eye on us too. All right, off to the infirmary we go. I don't think Cromov would kill Nils, would he?
No.
Great.
I don't know his character well enough to rule that out as a possibility.
I feel like he went to a lot of trouble making Nils follow us, then knocking him out, then shoving him in a closet, alcove, whatever. It's just weird. All right, well, we're still walking to the infirmary.
Okay, so okay. Sorry. So you get to the infirmary, and there's no one there.
What is going on?
I sent a message to Justinius's page. Are you still alive?
He comes back and says, yes? Why do you keep contacting me?
I sent another message. Where are you?
I'm in my quarters. I was told not to leave the castle grounds.
I just rubbed my eyes. I look at Justinius. You said Cromov was a capable spellcaster, right?
Yes.
How capable? Can he alter memories?
Now, when you say no one's here, does that mean like the person who's usually on duty here isn't here either? Like
No,
it's
they're
empty,
there.
empty. Okay. So, where is everyone?
Well, they weren't ill. We treated them and sent them on their way. Cromov requested to allow his boy to convalesce in their quarters, so we let them go, as we would
So
any member of the council's family.
So you sent both pages to the room?
Of course. Well, Nils went to convalesce at his family's residence.
Right, and the other kid also went to his room.
Correct.
Okay.
So, everybody roll me a perception check, except Axley.
Oh no. Don't
Oh,
like
no.
that. Hey, I rolled something other than a 5.
Good, because I rolled an 11.
19. Did you say natural 1?
I said 21.
Oh, 21. That's good. I was like, oh no.
Better.
Slightly.
One of my dice was a 1. The other one was a 18 plus 3.
There you go.
I'm glad I have that robe.
You notice that Blaxley is kind of walking to every bed in the infirmary and kind of sniffing. And
What
then
you looking for?
to the next one, and then kind of sniffing, and then to the next one, and then kind of sniffing. Just, I don't know. Just smelling what's going on.
Sniffing for undead.
Can't you smell them too?
No, I'm not undead.
No.
No. What do they smell like?
Dead?
They smell like dirt and dried blood and sweat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm running out of
Smell any
ideas.
of that?
Do we want to go talk to Justinius's kid?
Yeah. What? But yeah, like if this is another twist or another dead end, I'm gonna be annoyed.
I mean, it's either that or we go talk to Nils and Cromov.
Let's talk to Gally first.
Is the rod still blue and red-ish?
As you turn, Axley enters the infirmary. The rod is still blue and reddish.
Where were you?
No sign of him. He hasn't popped back in. How are they doing?
Now getting here?
Say that again.
Did you just now get here, actually?
Yeah, I was just poking my head around the corridors using the rod and seeing if it maybe gave some indication. Like maybe if it had a range, if it got close, maybe it would alarm that he was here. I think he's here somewhere. Whether he can just pop in and out of the realms, the planes.
Wouldn't it turn black though if he came back here
Black?
or whatever?
Is that the
Well,
color
it
normally?
It would point to him if he came back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it should point. But he's here. His presence is here. Just maybe not enough of it. He keeps bringing these things to life. His magic is here.
But What makes you say that? What
Just the
indicating?
evidence by the fact that these things he's brought back to life. He was. I don't think that Kono saw another plane. I think that's somewhere in the castle. Maybe there's a secret room below. What's his name?
Kromov's.
Kromov's room?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kromov's quarters.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier.
Or inside.
How long does it take to cast a gate spell? It's not like instantaneous, is it?
A minute, I think. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good amount of time. To suddenly.
I'm sorry. No, it is instantaneously.
Oh,
It lasts up to a minute.
I feel like we're running out of ideas, and we're nowhere closer to stopping this from happening.
Right?
Or even knowing what's really going on here.
No, that's the thing that gets me is like what even was the point of all of this? I think we need to go talk to Cromov.
Well,
really do
I
interrogation.
think that we're a threat to Laralac now that we're starting to. He doesn't want us to gain any influence in the most powerful city in the realm. That's probably the only city that's still large enough and united enough to pose a threat against him. He absolutely doesn't want us to gain any influence. So he's going to try to, lie, frame us, get us mistrusted, kill anyone that we might have an ally in.
I mean, he certainly seems to be doing that.
Yeah, but it just feels like there would be more of a purpose to some kind of like definite end of what he's doing, that rather than just messing around with us. Well, Kromov's
maybe
kid
maybe he just needs to. Maybe he just needs to buy enough time. Right now that he knows that this is the threat, maybe he's turned his sights here, and he just needs to cause disruption long enough to get here with his forces.
We also know he's not exactly the head honcho.
Well, also, I mean, there are people in this kingdom much more powerful than us and with much more resources. If they turned their eyes towards trying to deduce what was going on and see him as a threat, then I would think that would be the start of his undoing. He's operating in the shadows. He can't afford to have the entire realm mobilized against him.
Yeah, but doing all this just gave us more of a reason to have the queens look into it. Before, he was some vague thing that we talked about. Now he managed to breach the castle.
Yes.
He's just proven he's a threat.
Well, I think this shows that he's always breached the castle. He wasn't able to turn these people against their queens instantaneously. He's been here all along, exerting his influence, probably keeping them in the dark, pointing them in the wrong direction, keeping things that are completely unrelated to him at the forefront.
I wonder if he's responsible for the abbot not having his powers properly working.
Having a dragon attack is a pretty good way of keeping the city focused on something completely in another direction, unrelated.
Yep.
So what are y'all gonna do?
I think we need to see the queens.
Yeah, for sure.
We might
I wanna-
have to. I don't think
I
Mills or Galley can give us much more information.
Can I just check in with Otto really quick and see if he's noticed anything outside?
Do you have him looking for something specific or someone specific?
So, like I said, he was just no, he was just like perched outside, just keeping like just a general eye on the the outside of the castle, the courtyard and whatnot, looking for any. It didn't look like they belonged there.
No, it's been extremely quiet out there since the lockdown.
Okay. All right. Well, at least everything's quiet outside.
Justinius, what happened with Sabatine?
I sent some guards to take care of her body and to prepare it for the ceremonial rituals.
God, I wish someone had gentle repose right now. Okay. Just because we've already seen one page get turned into an undead creature and turned against us. So that's why I'm concerned about Sabatine's body. I would not want her body being used. As long as everyone knows she's dead, then if she shows up, at least there's that. I don't think so. I'm just being paranoid right now.
I mean, that's fair with everything that's happened in the past, 2 hours.
I'm not sure what you want me to do.
I'm going to assume that there's enough guards treating Sabatine's body that she can't be used against us.
Presumably, of course. I mean...
So, what do we do if we want to see the queens?
Well, you would have to put in a request. And...
Because I know they're in lockdown right now. They're supposed to be in a safe space.
Yes. The request goes through the council.
I hope that doesn't mean it goes through Cromov.
It does.
Yeah, he's going to be our biggest barrier. What happens if it's just an emergency and we're the ones that A, found the intruder first, B, found the body first, C, found out the page was an undead creature first, D, found out that the other pages were kidnapped?
I mean, I can put in a request, and it's the council's job to relay the request, and if the queens wish to hold an audience, then they will override what the council recommends.
You send it through Tullus, Hubertus, or Tobik.
Tobik
give
is
it to
with
them.
the queens.
Yeah, Tobik is with
Oh,
the
sorry.
queens.
Yeah, never mind. You send it with the other team?
Tullus might be
Other
our
team's
best
good.
bet.
Tullus will have to be... Rayla will have to be...
Wait, does Rayla have permission to
Interesting.
enter as...
No, but she can deliver the request.
I mean, yeah, that would be your
Yeah.
best guess at this point. Well, let's put that request in ASAP because we really need to talk to them. I think we really need to discuss what just happened.
We do. I'm just... We need to figure out how he's moving about and doing all this too.
So what is your request that you're putting in?
Yeah, that's my thing. What are... Besides asking for help, like...
Just after the events that have transpired, we've discovered an intruder and a dead body. We need to discuss... I mean, I'm sure, but we need to discuss what this means and how we can best assist in investigations and ensuring this isn't an issue. We have the best knowledge on the intruder because we've already told you about him.
The queens won't give you an audience for that. They'll tell you to work with the staff of the castle.
So what will they give us an audience for?
Not that.
Yeah, it's like we need to have something definite, like say we know who did it basically, or who's behind it.
Relax.
Even just opening
yes.
their sanctuary for us puts them in danger.
Right.
Until
we know who our number one threat is here,
Cromov.
and maybe we should keep an eye on him because
Do
he's the most dangerous one in this castle at the moment until Larilac shows up.
Do we want to Zone of Truth him?
I
have
think most
it.
definitely, but we can't just do it overtly, or we're the aggressors and we're breaking the law, right? We need to have the Queen's permission to do that.
Do we? Alex Justinius, or can we just get what's his name?
Tell us to do it.
No, Hubertus.
Hubertus, yeah.
He is the chief vizier. Maybe he does the casting. We don't want to suspect Cromov, but we honestly, it would be a great way to, at the very least, clear him, so we know that he is not the weak link in here. And if he is, then that's the fastest way of finding out as well.
You can also possibly go through Virus, because they were the ones. Well, that's the one that Sabatine was telling us we needed to go through to check out casting.
Because my thing is,
Permission
we
for
need to frame it as we want to clear Cromov, but too many things have been popped up, so we want to make sure that Cromov is not involved, because if he is, he has access to the Queens.
Right.
Because we have
also
no...
been doing a lot of pointing fingers.
Yeah, because we have no proof, and like, sure, it could be he's being used. It could be he has no idea what's going on, or he could be the one doing everything.
Right. Oh boy.
So maybe we should go find Hubertus and see what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Hubertus thought that it was prudent and he decided to do it himself, then yeah, I think that would stand.
So you're going to go to Hubertus's study?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You're standing in front of his study door.
Knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock.
The door opens. Come
Like
in.
by itself? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Open it and step in.
I mean, it swung open when you after you knocked. A couple seconds later, it swung open.
Okay. Ah, Hubertus. Good to see you.
I'll be there in a minute.
Where is he?
We
don't see him?
He's in the back room.
Oh, okay. The smell. Is there any smells in the air?
Yeah, you want to roll perception?
Sure. I rolled a 9. That makes it... That's 13. Yeah.
It smells like cooking meat.
Okay.
Like a charbroiled steak.
What is that delicious aroma?
That's dinner. Are you hungry? And he...
Wait till you hear the story we have to tell. I'm ready to
he
eat a horse.
He walks out and he snaps his fingers and a table appears in the middle of the room with some chairs. And floating behind him on basically like a tensor's floating disc is this enormous platter with an enormous steak on it. Almost like a Fred Flintstone kind of like giant platter of meat. And he has the thing set it right in the middle of the table. He says, "Come on and sit down and join me. It'll be cooked exactly as you prefer."
Oh, wait, we don't want to disturb your meal. Are you sure there's enough for everybody? We don't want to.
Of course
take your
there
portion.
is. Of course there is. Please sit.
But sit down.
Have you heard? Has word reached you of any of those goings on this evening in the castle?
Of course. I always know what's going on in the castle.
Well, we bring grave tidings that things are not right. You need
So,
your
despite
assistance.
everything going on in the castle, you're cooking? Is this dress cooking or something like that?
I have to eat, don't I? I had a
I
long day in court, and then I had a long day with the test of veracity, and then I had a long night writing the report, and then all this happens. He cuts off.
I'm sure we're going to have a long well into the morning as well.
I'm sure nothing will end.
Yeah, don't.
He's eating. He's cutting little pieces
Did we-
off, eating.
As we eat, let's just tell him what transpired.
Here's everything. Here's everything we found and seen today.
Marin is not eating
All this.
anything.
Do you not like meat? Are you a vegetarian?
Nope, we just found a dead body, so I'm not really hungry right now.
Oh, you found a dead body. Oh, poor Sabatine.
2, actually.
2.
2 actually, really, but the other one was kind of like crumbly.
Died twice. Well, maybe 1.5 times.
1.5 is probably a good explanation, honestly.
You mean Alexander? Yes, that was too bad.
Mm-hmm. How exactly do you get your news?
What do you mean?
Like, does someone just like come and report these things to you, or do you have like
Yes.
a security system? Okay. Who reports to you? You have a page?
Everyone reports to me.
Good. Okay.
Who told you about Alexander?
I have people. I have ways.
Sorry if we sound paranoid, but we're extra
do.
paranoid today.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say this guy's on my sus list. This guy has been on my sus list since like the day we met him. Honestly,
Everybody's on your sus list.
really, honestly though, that's pretty true. I'm sitting here like going through my entire notebook right now.
Since
It-
before
it-
setting the term, yeah.
Yeah.
My
It
job.
feels like we've been 2 steps behind whoever's doing all this the whole
Everyone.
time. So we're a bit paranoid.
My job is to know everything that happens on the castle grounds and in the town, and then beyond that in the region.
So did you know when someone broke through the barrier and teleported into the castle?
No, I did not, unfortunately.
I look at this as a good thing. Not good in the sense that bad things are happening, but I mean good in the sense that bad things are happening and people are finding out about them.
I mean, yeah, but too late to stop more bad things from happening is the issue.
Well, better now than not at all.
I mean, I guess.
That ritual you did for us earlier today, could you
Yes.
do it again for somebody else?
Of course, it's very simple.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
You're pretty knowledgeable about everything, and you've heard everything same as we have by now.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it seem suspicious to you that everything is linked somehow to Cromov?
What do you mean?
Well, it was one of Kromov's cousin, niece, nephew, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that ended up being taken, used, and then killed and brought back to life and tried to assassinate someone. He was the last one who was in the tower protecting the ward before Sabatine, who showed up dead.
The person who was brought back to life was the last one in the tower?
No. He, Cromov was in the tower before Sabatine.
Yes, he was on duty. I know, I make the duty schedule.
Right. So he was there before Sabatine, and then Sabatine was on duty, and then she died. While no one but her was in the tower. So how did someone get into the tower?
When only she has the key to get in.
She let them in.
The guard would have known that. He did not see anyone but her go into the tower. You should know this by now, right?
Well, I mean, unless she let them in.
Right, but then the guard would know that someone was
Not
let
that
in
way.
Oh. So someone she would trust.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
I'm
common?
not sure why you're so suspicious about Cromov, because Sabatine
Was killed.
was killed and did not present the alarm.
Right. So
So
either
she
someone
was either duped into breaching the wall, or she was attacked unawares and was not up to her duties.
Cromov also sent one of his pages after us, but that page ended up getting knocked out.
You're suggesting that Cromov tried to sabotage his own child?
Yeah, that's the thing that I don't understand. That's why I don't know if it's really him.
Seems very unlikely.
He seemed concerned enough when he came.
There's the
looking
fact
for
that
him.
we detected Laralac in his room for some strange reason.
What do you
Yeah,
mean
that's
detected?
the other thing.
How did you
I
detect
hold out
this?
the I hold out the rod. Say this finding device points towards whatever is named, and it will tell you if it's on this plane or another plane, and it will continue to point in the direction on the current plane. It led us right to his room, and then after the room was knocked upon, a short period of time, then the rod showed that he was no longer on this plane. It went blue, as it shows now.
And how do I know that this magical device that you wield is accurate?
Well, it helped us find someone else on another plane. It led us right to them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of any magic that could identify such magical items and what they do?
Of course I do.
You could do that on this item.
Give it a try.
Well, knowing what its capabilities are doesn't tell me anything about how it could have malfunctioned.
Wouldn't it tell you if it is a malfunctioning item?
Not if it's working properly now.
So you're suggesting it was defective earlier.
Perhaps the item you were seeking wasn't actually in Kromov's room. Perhaps it was beyond that. That was just the direction that you were being led. Does
Sure.
the rod know how to take you around barriers, or does it just take you to the shortest distance?
Shortest distance. But it was just suspicious that
It
when we
was
knocked upon the
pointing
door.
down when we were above Kromov's room. When we went down, it was no longer pointing down. It was pointing towards the room itself. That's all we know. And there's also the fact that when we knocked on the door, the moment we knocked on the door is when the rod stopped indicating that he was there, or any indication of him being on this plane.
Do you know
it's true it could be something beyond Kromov's room.
Do you know when trouble started happening at the castle?
Oh, when we should have, obviously.
Yes.
Oh, I'm well aware we're the number one suspects. That's why I think that's why all this is happening,
So,
to be honest.
what if the rod was malfunctioning not because it's got a problem, but what if our perception of who Laralac is going to affect it? Like, what if we don't know? Like, we were thinking about, like, Batet, right? Like, what if he can shift into different people? And what if he just shifted into a different person? So an aspect of himself went to the Blue Plateau, but like Axley was saying, an aspect of himself stayed in the form of something else. Something or someone else. Not necessarily Cromov, but like...
one of the kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. It confuses me.
That's a lot of speculation and nothing serious to go by.
Oh, I know, but
I'm just telling
Again-
you, I have been the vizier at this castle for many, many years, and Cromov has never displayed a whiff of traitorous behavior.
Well, what's your theory about what all's going on?
His family has been in service to Delencia for generations. I just don't
Interesting.
see him easily being swayed against her. It does not make
What's his
sense
last
to
name?
me.
What's his like full title? Like first last name
Commerce.
title.
What do you mean, first last name title?
Like
What's his... When you
oh,
introduce
he's
him at
related to the
court,
House of Adrum. He's related to the House of Adrum.
what's...
He's in charge of commerce.
Cromov is his first name or his last name?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
What's Kromov's full name?
First name, last name. Like my name is Enra Norvestia. What is Kromov's name? Oh, I bet you he's related to the House of Adrum. He's got to be.
But we know Blaxley's supposedly the last of the line.
The last one.
His name is Betet Cromov Adrum,
Fucking...
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Minister of
My-
Commerce.
God. No. No. Oh no, that throws everything.
He is named
off.
he is named for his most famous relatives.
Oh. What is happening? Tet Kromov Adrum?
To avoid confusion, he goes by the lesser known name.
I thought the House of
he does.
Adrum had died out.
It did.
Then how is he from the House of Adrum?
Well, he can be distantly related and not full-blooded, and claim the name Adrum.
Alright, I take him back. He's number one suspicious.
He is. He is.
Why? Why is he
100%.
suspicious because of this? I'm not following your...
I don't.
Because every time we look for information on the person that's been turning things into undead creatures, it has led to Betet. Not necessarily
Family
this
Betet
Betet.
is a very famous one.
Yeah, but I don't really believe in coincidences anymore.
Okay, I'm... so why did you come? You're not joining me for dinner, so why are you here at my doorstep?
I don't know. We just needed someone to rant to, I think. But maybe it's time for us
we
to
need-
retire.
The help of someone who knows a lot. You did just give us one piece of information we didn't have.
Well, we thank you for that. We might come and chat with you again in the future, but for now, I think we should probably go.
How old is this guy? How old does he look?
He looks late middle age for a halfling.
Are you familiar with Allegra Hammond?
Everyone has heard of Allegra Hammond.
Do you know what happened to him?
Well, I haven't heard about him since before the sinking.
And I'm guessing that Cromov is not the Betet of Calport.
He is related to Betet of Calport.
Were you friends with Batet of Calport by any chance?
No. No one was friends with Batet of Calport.
Why not?
Batet of Calport sold out to the queens.
What do you mean sold out to the queens?
Sold information about the royal line and the queens to some powerful other nations just before the sinking.
You mean betrayed the queens?
Yes.
And
Which
then
nations?
Several of the nations that were around from before the sinking.
And then Cornelius killed him.
Yes.
Why would he sell information about the queens to another kingdom?
Well, that's how kingdoms work, right? They...
But he was trying to prevent the sinking.
Batet was?
Yes.
How do you know this?
Well, all his research prior to the sinking was about trying to stop it. He knew what was going to happen.
So why did not he contact the people that could stop it?
That's a good question. Oh. Huh? Okay, so my notes say someone who rules very well, but they get corrupted, but nobody knows. Maybe it was the queens that were corrupted, and because of that, he sold the information somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first sign. Then come the natural disasters, the storms, the earthquakes, the 20 days of darkness.
Yeah.
And then what?
After the 20 days of darkness, the lower places of the continent were covered in water. And then someone shows up and says that they can save them from the signs. But no one listens to him, and it is ignored. Then the rift opens, and then the flood happens, the sinking. That was all written by Batet.
And do you think it's true?
It's our best guess.
All the disasters written about have happened. Yes. Did any of those nations, did any of them, excuse me, did any of them survive the sinking, or were they all lost?
Wait, the queens that he sold out are not the current queens, correct?
Mm-mm. But it's still the line of Delencia, I think, right?
Yeah. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Because it was like 50 years ago. Seems like ages for me, but...
So... Are Batet and the House of Adrum related then?
Well, if the current Batet Adrian has anything to say about it. Because we didn't have a last name for Batet. We just had Batet of Calport. Is Batet of Calport not
Batet of
from
Calport.
Adrian? From the House of Adrian?
remember, Batet of Calport is like Homer, Ovid, Virgil, right?
Yeah, that's why we were like, is
Is it
this,
a person?
is it the same?
Or is it multiple people?
As a title.
But we do know that Cornelius Adrim killed Batet of Calport.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're asking. Now it seems like we're asking: Did they really kill a person or just someone with a title?
Right.
Sells Batet of Calport. I don't know. I'm lost.
This is all sounding. I know this is so like. I need like a corkboard with all of the strings. I need like
To see the pattern.
I mean, there's
put all of this down.
yeah.
Because I'm looking at the story of Ian Tarsis because that sounds really familiar. Because betraying the Allfather and the White Lady, Delencia, the Queen of Souls, is also part of our lore.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
what if Batet is very connected to the story of Ian Tarsis? And what if this all is just one big story that's been told 100 different times?
At different
In 100
levels.
different ways.
And 100 different ways and twisted around, so who
Yeah.
knows what the real story is anymore.
Yeah.
But if that's true, then the current Adrim would be the one to turn against the queens. Wouldn't it? If you're following the story.
The story's repeating itself, yeah.
If the story is repeating itself, then Cromov is the next one to betray his queens.
Mm-hmm. The House of Delencia. Oh boy. Following Hubertus?
Hubertus looks like he's in a trance.
What's up? What you thinking, buddy?
And then he snaps.
You gotta.
He snaps out of it and he says, I've just sent some elite guard to get Cromov.
Okay.
What exactly spurred that?
Do they need assistance? Will they be enough to handle him if indeed he is a threat?
He probably doesn't know we don't have anything concrete on him anyways.
They have.
Is he? Oh, does he just think he's being summoned, or does he think he's going to be retained?
Thinks he's being summoned.
Okay. Hey guys.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the ways to reverse the sinking is to go back and prevent Cornelius from killing Batet.
Mm-hmm.
Which meant, So, what happened there? Cornelius killed Batet because why? And I'm looking at
Because
Bertus for this. Because he betrayed the queens?
I'm assuming that's what it leads me to believe. Those old stories.
Because if what we found is true, then not killing Batet would have prevented the sinking. That headache is back.
Yeah. Plus, you're talking.
I mean, we can't alter time.
Anyway.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
How are we going to
yeah,
how are we
but
gonna
if
go
the
back and
story
prevent
is
the past?
repeating itself, then what? So my point is, if the story is repeating itself, who's the enemy, the queens or Batet?
Well, if the story is repeating itself, and you're looking at who's going to kill Batet, and it's Cornelius Adrim, isn't that Blaxley?
Where's Blaxley?
he's with us.
I mean,
No,
yes,
no.
he's supposed.
But-
That's why I'm looking.
Do we want to?
Oh no.
That's why I asked.
But I'm just saying, you're making a big assumption that what we're trying to prevent is what's happening now, as opposed to, and the sinking's already happened.
I mean,
I know.
but it's not like fully realized, right? Like not everything's sunken. Like it's not the Blue Plateau yet. We still have water to go, and we're trying to prevent the rest of it. So it could be a time wishy-wash thing where it's taken a couple of centuries to do, but
A wibbly wobbly.
But all of our
time
research is-
thing.
time isn't linear.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
one
time isn't
question that's
linear.
really
It's-
easy to answer. Is Blaxley still with us? Is he calmly eating his steak?
I hope so. With the skull sword.
What do you think the chances of that are?
Like, slim to none, but I was hoping.
It's something you could tell us with a D100 roll.
He is
Sure.
there eating a steak quietly the entire time. I rolled really
Great.
Good child.
You stay where we
Child,
can
I
see
guess
you,
info.
Mr. Chilling Quest.
But here's the thing, though. Isn't so like. I really don't want to. I don't want to continue this conversation in front of you, Brutus, because I'm going to make some wild claims.
Where
It's
is
going to get me in trouble. It's going to be Tadius all over again. No, this is all a mess. Yeah, I like Marcel's question about why did Cornelius kill Betet in the first place? Well, that's a good question.
Hubertus agreed that it seemed like the most likely answer
Yeah.
was because
It's because of
Betet betrayed the queens.
Because Cornelius Adram, as House of Adram, means that he was beholden to the queens. So if someone were to sell out the queens, he would probably, go against them.
stop at nothing till he got revenge? Brought them
We
to justice.
know that Betet at least thought that one of the first signs was that a good ruler was going to get corrupted, but nobody knows. So my suggestion is that the reason that Betet did that was because the queen of the time was compromised. It turns
wasn't
out
Betet that
the
said-
only kingdom that survived was hers.
Mhm.
Despite the fact that
That you know
Calport-
of.
that we know of, despite the fact that Calport was originally pretty low and should have sunk.
And Betet couldn't be the ruler that was corrupted?
No,
Not a
he wasn't
ruler.
writing
So-
all- he was not a ruler at any point. He was just a poet.
Or a collection of poets. Mm,
Is Laralac the ruler that was corrupted?
I think Laralac is just
if we're following the story of Ian Tarsus, then it would be Valencia.
Would it though? I mean, Ian Tarsus made a deal to destroy an entire species of people, an entire civilization.
yeah.
Delincia's children were used to fuel that in some way because they were
Oh,
kidnapped.
okay. I took terrible notes in that section.
So
That was
she,
when I was-
well, but my point is, if she got corrupted,
Yeah.
it could have been with grief and anger. So in that way, that is possible because her children were stolen.
Okay.
But but that's not corruption in the way that you have been talking about it just now. The way you're talking about it now is a otherwise good ruler of a kingdom gets corrupted and greedy and becomes a very poor ruler, and the people suffer because of it. And that corruption could come in many forms, I suppose, but that's a
Yeah.
much more direct kingdom style king/queen corruption than compared to, something like what Delincia at that time, based on that story. Now, who knows the accuracy of that story, right? That story is thousands of years old and came from an angry dwarf. So, I mean, you're talking about that's, and I should say an ashamed dwarf, right? Because remember, he didn't want to talk about it because Ian
Right.
Tarsus is Ian Tarsus himself is a corrupted ruler that has fallen out of favor.
Hmm.
So you're right about the fact that there's many circles here intersecting where there's a corrupted ruler in all the stories.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, really.
Do you guys remember what was written on the board?
Which board?
Bored.
An Adrum of gold makes you poor. Well met you are not. A lecture in 5 parts by Batet.
No, I wanted to ask him about that. That's on my list of questions to ask him about, but we haven't gotten back there.
Well, and
So
didn't Gaston said Batet was the one giving the lectures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we ask Gaston who wrote that on the board?
He wrote it with his fancy chalk, remember?
He wrote it, right.
Oh, that's right,
Gaston
yeah.
wrote it. And we asked him why Batet, and he was just like, oh, because Batet was the one doing the lectures.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to read from the cleric book.
So
The skeletons have been there a long time.
it's getting pretty close.
Oh.
Go ahead.
What?
Say it.
No.
Spit it out.
God. Because Gaston was talking about how Batet awoke undead things, and when he started reading, things came back to life. Weren't we, like, suspicious of Batet being Larilac at one point?
Yeah, but I said that it couldn't be because the writing on the text didn't match up. Because the Dirge of the Adrum houses had 2 different, significantly different writing on it. We knew one was Batet, and we thought the other one might be Larilac. And they didn't match up. That was one thing I said against that. Because Dirge of the Adrum houses we know was written by Batet. The other stuff is Well of Hasit, Amethyst Key, United Choral Proofs, and 6174 was written by another hand. And we were presuming that was Larilac.
We're also presuming Batet is one person.
True.
Batet might not be one person. It could be a line of people. It could be multiple sets of people passing on a tradition or
yeah, if we went that way, then maybe Batet wrote the first thing, but his descendant, aka Cromov, is Larilac and wrote that. I guess there's one easy way to do that. Just have Cromov write Well of Hasit and see how it looks.
Yeah.
So it's way. I mean, it's like 10:37.
Oh my god.
So here's the thing. David and I actually were talking this week in between games, and one of the things that I have not been good at, and that I realized through talking about him, not that he was accusing me of something, but like just through our conversation, I kind of realized what I need to do is I need to send everyone kind of a rundown of what right? It would be different for each person because it's based on your own things that you've said and written notes on in these sessions that I have access to that you don't necessarily have access to at this point because they haven't all been released in podcast form, and I don't necessarily expect you to go back and listen to all these podcasts, right? So I've been taking extensive notes, of course, but what I can do is I can send you the sort of, here's the main people, here's what you've been told about them, here's who said that, here's what you thought, here's what Imran said, right? Here's what Axley said, here's what Marcel said, here's what Kono said, here's what you found out talking to the Haka, here's what you found out talking to Makodam, here's what you found out talking to whoever, right? And just do but not like super detailed every single thing you've ever learned or whatever, because that would be like a 50-page document. But like just in general, here's the relationship and here's where you learned about that relationship. Cornelius killed Batet. Here's where you learned that, right? Batet taught these classes. Here's where you learned that. That sort of thing. And then maybe you can put that together with your own notes and sort of get a better picture of what's going on, or what you might be able to formulate something a little clearer that you think might be going on. Because, you know, one of the things that's happened is we've been playing for a really long time, and there's a lot of stuff that you learned way back when that we haven't touched on until, you know, because we sort of took a detour, and then now all of a sudden we got to the library, and you're like, wait, we have this big list of stuff we want to know, but now we think these other things are way more important, so we didn't bother to ask about those anymore. And now, you know, so that's what I'm going to try to do this week, is sort of compile that kind of thing for you, and then tailor it to each of you a little bit so that you can get sort of a better idea of maybe what's going on. Because to get back to what I was saying, is one of the things I haven't been very good at is steering you in a direction, because I think now there's been enough stuff that you're all like, what the fuck, right? Like, how are we supposed to make heads or tails of this? Even if you took really good notes, it's hard to make heads or tails. So I'll write you a summary, and then maybe we can get you pointed in a direction where you feel like, okay, this might get us some resolution. Because I feel like we're at that point in the campaign where, you know, we could keep playing for 15 more sessions and not even finish, right? But I don't want that to happen. What I want is, I think we're relatively close to the end. Like, I know what the end kind of looks like in general. Like, I don't know what decisions you're going to make, so I don't know specifically, but I know in general what it looks like. And we can be as close as like 5 or 6 sessions from that. Or we can be as far as 15 or 20 sessions, depending on what you want to do. But I feel like I've kind of hobbled you a little bit by giving you too much information and not giving you a chance to make it clean and clear for yourselves. But I think we're at a point now where I need to do that. So let me take some time this week and do that and send it to you. And then you can send me back questions or whatnot. And you can talk on the Discord and figure out how you want to do it. Does that make sense? Like, because I do see you all like trying to run through this and think about things and then going, I don't know where to go. Because there's too many things that you could go and approach, and you might be wrong, and there's this fear of being wrong, and then, now we're wrong for 5 sessions in a row, you know, and like, so let me try to clean that up, aside from throwing a whole bunch of new crap at you this time. But so that's my plan for this week and next week, so that by the time we get to where we're meeting again in 2 weeks, that you'll be maybe in a little better place. You can talk about like, okay, given this information, here's what we should do next, right? Like, or here's what we need to find out to figure out what to do next. Or here's who we need to talk to figure out what to do next, right? Because you know, there's a lot floating out there. So, and I take responsibility for that. You know, there's this fine line between giving way too much and giving not enough. And I tend to err on the side of giving way too much, but then that means you also get some red herrings that you end up thinking are important, or you get facts that are just meant to supplement and support and not be a focus. And, you know, being D&D players, you focus, and you know,
everything is connected.
Everything is connected.
Oh my god.
Everything is connected, but some of it
the galaxy brain is just flashing by and whatnot. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
I would definitely appreciate that as well. And I think even just like having a conversation like via email with you, like you can send us like a general email, and then I'll probably write up a lot of my notes and send it back to you and be like, hey, is this right? Just to make sure, because everything is just a mess. So I think that's also helpful. And then like maybe conversing in the Discord like before a session and being like, okay, what's the plan kind of deal? Right. And like at least kind of running through that will help take away from like the discussion time here, so we're not like just sitting and talking and talking and
right.
Talking in circles and then running after people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm feeling lost right now.
Yeah.
I feel like I am on the verge. I feel like that connection I just made with I can't even think of his name right now. With the House of Adrium, I think that just like spurred me, and now I'm like, all right, I think if I have like a more organized version of this, I can probably sift through it a little bit better and figure it out. I just need to like...
Yeah. So let me tell you about the things that you're right about, okay? You're right about the fact that for some reason things seem to be repeating themselves, right? Like you keep hearing the same story with slightly different characters at slightly different time points, or told to you in a slightly different way. And it always has the same kind of main story.
Actors.
Right, it's got
Yeah.
the same main characters. Like, so there's some weird thing, right? You also know that time is not linear, right? You also know that Bolam told Konos that he's one of Delincia's children, but he is not bound by linear time. Okay, so there's that. Okay, you know that Betet is a title / person. You're not really sure. Depends on the time, maybe. Or maybe it's just that time's not linear. Maybe it is the same entity, but time's not linear. So when the entity is present in a particular timeline, they are Betet. When they're present in a different timeline, they're also still Betet. So you see different instances of Betet. Might be the same person, or it might be a title, right? Like that's something you're unsure of, but you're right about the fact that it's confusing. You do know that Cornelius killed a Betet. You don't know really in which timeline. It was right before the sinking. Okay. Did it also happen before in a different cycle, and then before that in a different cycle? You don't know that, right? Yeah, so it's confusing. You really... it's unclear how Laralac is connected to any of it, unless Laralac is one of the people and decided, I'm going to break the cycle and change a name. Or is just hiding because he knows if he comes in and says, I'm Betet, or I'm Adrim, or I'm whatever, that everybody's going to go, oh God, you know. So that's, I understand it's confusing, right? I understand that. I get it. Because I know who all the people are, right? So.
I love it. I like being on my toes, but that's just me personally.
It's a great mystery. I just think we're still. It just feels like we're at that phase
Yeah.
in the middle of the movie where all of the facts are swirling around but aren't connecting.
Yeah.
It's like we're so bogged down with names. It's like, okay, we've lost kind of focus on what we're actually trying to accomplish.
Yeah. And like I said, totally understandable. I get that. I'm not, it's not your fault, right? So I just want everybody to kind of take a deep breath. Okay, there is a point, right? This isn't just, oh, well, who knows? I don't know what's going to happen, right? There is, you know.
You mean you're not just doing a mystery box J.J. Abrams Lost?
No, I don't do
Oh,
that.
I feel like
there's not enough lens flares.
Yeah, right.
I feel like there's been so many times where we've just been like, I've connected the dots, and Sam's probably like, you've connected shit.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, those
Sam's
connections
like, oh, no.
are, you know, it's a point, but it's not a connection, and then you go forward. It's like a connection, and then one shoots past the other. They just crisscrossed. And then they're going to crisscross over here again. So, no,
Oh my
it's
God.
all... Yeah.
I admit sometimes
that's
I'm like,
amazing.
I wish Zero was in this because she's so great at sussing things out. Because like me as DM with her, every time I give them like these vague connections and everything, she's like this, and I'm like, how the heck did she get that? And she's always right, and I'm just like, oh. So now that I'm on her side, I'm like, but I'm not as good as she is at sussing these things out.
Yeah. I mean,
I need her to listen to all of the DnDeBrief, and then she can tell us what to do.
No, don't do that. Don't do that to her.
She prefers listening to our debrief sections.
Yeah. So, okay. So I just, you know, I am cognizant of the fact that it's difficult and that there are things that are like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? But you are on the right track, right? So that's the other thing I want you to know is it's not like you're totally off on a tangent, not doing the right stuff or not thinking about the right stuff or not talking to the right people. We just
need a nudge.
Yeah, you need a nudge. So I will give you that nudge. So, okay. And so with that, I think we'll say goodbye. That'll be our debrief for the episode.
That was an interesting debrief, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because it is something that comes up, especially in things that are like mystery related. It doesn't necessarily even have to be just mystery, but like when there is a mystery to solve in things like this, it's a hard balance, and it can get overwhelming, especially when it's something so long as like things we heard in the second episode may come up 50 episodes later.
Right.
When we don't play every week, it makes it even worse. So yeah, that is definitely something that comes up a lot in this kind of game, because
And I'm good at playing the long game. I mean, like, I can hold on to a string from session 2, and then in session 23 you're like, you pull on the string and it's like, oh yeah, well, remember back in session 2 you said this you're like, what? Session 2? We were first level. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know. There's one other thing though that I want you also to realize, and that is that the Book of Proofs and Axley's translation of it already told you what you have to do to reverse the sinking.
Yeah.
So
well, give us two options.
We have. Yeah, it's like how do we affect those? How do we pull those off?
So you can decide to focus on that and say, I don't want to get involved in this kingdom
royal kerfluffle
issue that's happening because I know there's some bad stuff and Laralac is on our tail, but we're trying to stop or reverse something here, and we need to, because remember, the islands are floating apart, and what happens when the island floats apart? It's going to hit those 4 barriers.
Things.
Right. So you could actually decide, after you get all this information, after you put everything together, you could decide, you know what? We don't care about that at this point. We just want to fix things for our timeline, for our period of time, and not worry about this stuff, right? Because the thing is, if you pursue all the Betet, Adram, Delencia, all of that, like, betrayal storyline and all that stuff, you can try to make it so that you keep cycling over and over and over again, right? And then you would end up eventually like fixing or reversing the sinking, whichever one you decided. Or you could just say, forget it, we don't care about whether it repeats right now, we just want to reverse or stop the sinking and just take action and go forward. And that's, I mean,
at the very least, we've already given not Justinius, the other guy, enough of
Cromov.
A doubt.
Or
Hubertus, enough of a doubt that, hey, if this thing is going as it is, then Cromov is likely to betray your queens.
Right.
And we have no say in this, and if he does, again, it doesn't really affect us, but it will affect you very intimately. So we could just leave it in his hands.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at option B as far as I mean, not that I'm not interested in the story you're telling and all the war and whatnot. It's like, okay,
yeah, let's get going.
I thought, yeah. It's like, that's great, but it's like,
yeah.
No, I get it. So. Did we lose Matt? He went quiet for me.
I don't hear him.
Like a word every couple seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, Craig dropped off of the Discord a while ago.
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, but it was after we had really finished.
Yeah, we had basically finished, but I'll probably pull this audio off the stream anyway and use it to make everything, so it's fine.
We apparently lost audio on the stream at some point.
Oh no!
I checked.
Really?
I checked a while ago, and yeah, it's back right now. So we may have lost it at some point because I don't have timestamps, and then it came back. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
You should have Craig for that period at least.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, it's fine.
Oh, you can turn it on.
Nah, it's
yeah,
working,
that was an hour ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Craig just dropped off like 10, 15 minutes ago. So.
Yeah, so if it is, I was just letting you know so you know that there may be a section of that you're not going to have audio on the recording.
Yeah, I'll pull Craig down. I'll pull Craig's file down too. So anyway, well, with that, let's go ahead and say goodbye, and I will stop streaming in a second, and we will then get to